listening to the
Hey, MFM. See you on the lips. Back attack, dude.
Bon voyage!
Hey, yo, homies, good.
Slide down them big hills, you know what I mean, on the big, nice burgundy snowboard.
Welcome to the Bomb Hole, which is presented by Run Through a Wall Smelling Salts, the smelling salts for elite athletes. Now, today in studio co-hosting, we got Van's team manager, filmer extraordinaire from Deja Vu, Landline, Hair Frank Hontoya, the master of the butter, to my right, co-hosting. What's happening, Harry?
How we doing, Chris? Thanks for having me.
We're happy that you're in studio. And of course, we got Silk D back there on production. What's happening, Silk?
Still engaged, doing good.
You're still engaged.
Yep.
Love that.
Yep,
Congrats.
That's a
nothing
plus.
wrang yet.
Yep. And also, I think he's off camera. Maybe you can see him. Maybe
you
not.
might be able to see a little bit.
Oli Gagnon is in studio. I don't think he has a microphone, but Oli, how we doing? The GOAT of photography will be watching, judging, look at the baby. And the man of the hour, Ian Boll. What's happening, Ian?
Dude, just chilling. Happy to be here.
Well, we are happy that you're in studio with us. For our listeners that don't know who you are, what you've done in the snowboard world, Ian is co-founder and editor-in-chief of Torment Magazine. He's filmed some amazing video parts. He's done some legendary A-grade tricks in the streets. He's also an incredible photographer that has shot cover photos and so much more. Ian has made so many great contributions to snowboarding. So let's get into the show. Let's get right into it. We're gonna do an audible today. We're gonna start with trivia. So cue the Run Through a Wall trivia theme song.
Yep, it's playing.
Welcome to Run Through a Wall Trivia.
Cue it up.
All right, Ian, how you feeling about this trivia?
Honestly, I don't know what it's about, so pretty good.
Well, it is snowboard nerd trivia, and it's also Massachusetts trivia.
Okay, I like that.
You're from Massachusetts for the listeners.
That's correct.
Actually, all three of us are here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It's pretty good, the Commonwealth.
Blessing and a curse.
And Harry, you'll be counting him down. You have 5 seconds to answer. If you get it wrong, you got to do a smelling salt. Okay, first question. Who frontboard fakied the Raponda rail near Mount Snow?
Scott Stevens, 2004.
That is correct.
Damn, he hits you with the date and everything.
I'm going to
got
get the
the
salt
year.
ready, though, because
Okay,
I'm going to need that.
question number 2. In 2003, Nike purchased a footwear company that was founded almost 100 years prior in Massachusetts. What is the name of that company? Count them down.
5, 4, 3, 2,
Dude, I don't have a
1.
clue on
Starts
that.
with the C.
Does start with the C.
Come on, dog.
It's not New Balance.
Blanking on that
C-O-N.
Converse.
There it is. You still got it wrong.
All right, we're
You
gonna
gotta do a
take-
smelling salt.
Oh, it doesn't count.
Did you do a salt?
one. Here we go.
Have you done one of these? No, you didn't crack it.
Oh, it's cracked.
Oh, it's cracked. Oh, you did.
He might be faking it.
Oh, no, it is cracked.
That
I
was
see it.
cracked.
Okay, he's
Alright.
good.
We see
Alright.
some
Okay.
color in that
Okay.
one.
Yep.
We'll
okay.
count it.
Sorry about the
Damn,
false.
he gets the Scott Stevens from
doesn't get
fakie.
the Converse.
Not Converse.
Okay.
Well, now I'm realizing you drive down Boylston, Converse building right there.
There are a lot of shoe companies in
Yeah.
Boston. Easy mistake.
Yeah, could
Common
happen to
mistake.
anyone.
Okay, question number 3. What is the name of the kink rail Marty Vachon did a front board to nose press on located in Massachusetts?
5, 4,
Mission Hill King.
3.
That's correct. Okay, what was Sam Taxwood's last trick in his Brown Cinema video part?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I thought I was supposed to be counting in my head, to be honest.
No, you got to count
No,
out loud.
that's going to be another salt.
Wait, his
Really?
ender in brown?
Yeah, you guys don't know this? Oh, man.
Sam, yeah, that was.
I mean, it's more of a him thing. If I,
But Harry's still,
How do you
Harry's still
not know
struggling
this?
a little
Don't
bit.
put yourself on the spot, Harry.
Don't do that. Don't do that. This is on me.
The correct answer would be backside 720. You know that sick ass
Oh, yeah.
back 7 he does?
Duh.
Come on, guys.
Comes around all sick.
All right, I'm going to need you to focus up here.
All
Ian.
right.
The Halloween classic Hocus Pocus is set to what guessable Massachusetts city famous for the witch trials?
5,
Salem ass.
That's correct. Who focused their backup Chevy Suburban the night of the Brown premiere?
5, 4.
That's going to be me.
Yep, that's
Yeah,
correct.
that's me.
Yep. What is
That was over the summer.
Trick question.
Oh, that's over the summer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Trick question.
Okay.
Ditka is God.
Okay, next question. What is the name of the park in Worcester with the bridge rainbow rail that you've hit before?
5, 4, 3.
Yeah, I don't know. I hit
No
it. I
one
don't
knows
know.
that
Dude,
one.
Yeah,
That
no,
shit is fucking impossible.
Yeah, that's kind of a crazy one. All right,
Actually,
one more
Cole
salt,
Nabin
I
and
guess.
Stark helped me with that one, so you can blame them.
Yeah,
Stark
well-
loves to act like he's from Massachusetts.
Yeah, it's also like 40 minutes from me. I'll just one salt.
Hit another.
Yeah, he's more of a Boston guy. This is more of our area, Central Mass. Bonus question. What is the name of the bagel shop across the street from that spot?
Fuck, I don't.
Oh, I 5, 4.
Yeah, I don't
You want to do a phone a
3,
friend? You want to ask Harry?
2.
Yeah, phone a friend.
Bagel
Harry.
time, right?
That's correct.
Bagel time.
Harry came in
That
the
place
class.
I have
kind of
been
sucks, though. Everyone loves that place. That
Dude,
place
I have
sucks.
been there now that I remember.
They got a shitty
I mean,
sandwich.
dude, we're talking 10 years ago. It's hard to remember those like mediocre bagels.
yeah.
You guys are out of your gourd.
What else?
Okay, next question. Inspired by a long distance event in the 1896 Olympics, what famous American race takes place annually in April on Patriots Day?
Boston
5.
Marathon.
That's correct. Who has last part in the video rendered useless?
5, 4.
I mean,
3.
it's Mike Rabb.
2.
That's
but
correct.
It's kind of a
it's
fine
kind of a
print
little.
question.
It's kind of a little fine print. It's like Cole Navin
Yeah.
kind of comes in
Yeah.
heavy, but then you have Rabb to close it out.
Is it an encore? Is it a last part?
Yeah, exactly.
Who
We don't
knows?
know.
Yes. Well, that's a very thorough and also correct answer. What was the first ever year the Chevy Suburban was made?
5.
1937.
No.
Very close.
Damn.
Wow.
1938. 36. 35.
That's
There
it.
we go.
1935.
Okay. Oh.
But you're in the right realm.
We counting that?
close.
You know what I'm going to do?
Was that a guess or did you kind of know?
All right, I'll join you.
It's the longest running nameplate.
Oh, God. Oh,
This is
God.
a good one.
Fuck, I'll hit one.
Wow.
Yeah, you got it.
Oh my god, those
I wonder if
things
he's got
suck,
any
dude.
left.
Harry said he
not much
loves
left in
them.
that one.
Thebombhole.com.
Yeah, fuck.
I don't mean suck
should've
in a
had
bad
that
way. They
one.
just work too well.
All right, we're still in trivia here.
all right.
Whose grandfather started Maurice the Pants Man?
5, 4,
Mike Rabb.
3.
That's correct.
I'm surprised it took you that long.
What song did Dylan Dragata ride to in Roll Call?
5.
Dude, it's
4,
a crazy one.
3. It's from a movie. 2. 1.
I'm not going to get this one.
Phone
Harry?
friend? Terminator.
That's correct. The Terminator
Come
Come
song.
on,
nice.
dude. Yeah, the boogie board lifey. Remember that?
Yeah.
Cue the boogie board lifey.
Dude, his song was crazy.
Okay, this one's kind of a vague one. There's a couple acceptable answers, but how many sleds were destroyed while filming Brown Cinema?
5, 4.
I think that's 3.
Yeah, 3 or 4 are the acceptable answers according to Big Air Chair. So that's it. That's Run Through a Wall trivia. How you feeling?
Pretty good.
You did pretty well.
Honestly,
you did great.
not like we're shooting 75%. I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah, the Converse
passed.
one was a bit of a swing and a miss.
Yeah,
but
it was
other
a
than
Yeah,
that,
that one I kind of just froze up. Should have
Yeah.
had that one.
we're rolling. Well, we did talk about Suburban, so why don't we just get into a guest question? And this is from co-founder of Torment, your dear friend John Stark. Here we go.
Hey, Chris. Hey, Ian. What's going on? I got a question for my main man, Ian. Why don't you tell the people what your obsession is with Chevy Suburban? It's in my opinion, an unhealthy obsession. Let them know.
I just love the Suburban. I mean,
What's unhealthy about it?
yeah, I'm not sure what's unhealthy. Maybe
If anything, it's perfectly healthy.
I'm kind of looking for them a lot.
Yeah.
Always looking for another one. I had one for 18 years, and I just loved it. I built it out, camped in it, traveled all over. Spent about 16 months building a pop top for it, and that really solidified it. So this thing pops up and kind of turns into like a bed up at the top. And ever since then, I don't know. Everyone's like, get a truck. Why don't you get a truck? I don't know. You can pass through right from the front seat, walk into the back. You can camp in it, you sleep in it, and they rip. So I just love them. Also, yeah, like I was saying, longest running nameplate in history, any vehicle.
The Suburban?
Yeah, the longest one, whatever. 8, almost 100 years.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So I want to know about this whole roof situation because I've seen it. And
It's
I've-
unreal.
And I've seen you, but how did you? It's like a fiberglass boat situation. How did you build it?
Yeah, I used, it started off, I was just going to make a wooden top that would sit on top of my roof. And I got into it, and once you start sinking more time into something, you just kind of want to make sure it's going to be right. So I transferred that wooden top into a buck and fiberglass that as a mold. That part took forever. I'll probably never do that again. Working with fiberglass is just terrible. But basically created this shell, this cap that would kind of perfectly fit the roof line of the Suburban, and got a little bit eager cutting the hole out of the back of the Suburban. I cut out the hole so you could pass through up to the top, but then I didn't finish that pop top for 3 more months. So I was driving around with just a hole in the back, raining in it and whatnot.
Wait, like the whole thing?
Like just like, a 3x3 square in the back.
Yeah.
I'd go run errands. I'm like, it's probably not going to rain. And sure enough, like downpour.
Just no tarp? Just
nothing. Yeah.
Sunroof?
Yeah, nothing. Just open.
Perfect.
Well, yeah, one time I forgot to put anything over it. It was like 2 inches of water when I came out the next day. That took a while. But I just, that was probably one of the harder things I've ever done. It was kind of dumb to start out on, but like I love it now. Currently that Suburban is, pretty much totaled. But I'm trying to get that thing and put it on my new one, get it set up. It's just perfect for summer. Like all the window or all the canvas. I had this lady make this canvas tent for me and put it in. You can put down all the windows. It's fucking awesome.
Now, is there a golden era of the Suburban? Because I feel like there's a certain body style I've seen you own a couple of. Do you got a particular year that you love?
mean, the one I got now is GMT 800.
The GMT 800?
Yeah, they're
Not to get specific.
Yeah, I mean, it's a classic. It's turning into a classic. The old square body before that, those are awesome. But yeah, the one that I have now, I just love them because, they're new enough where you get the amenities, you get the heated seats, you can upgrade the radio, but they still kind of look classic. That's where I'm at.
Mm. And you had the diesel one, right? And that one wasn't ideal.
Yeah, I mean, I tried to go forward. It was a bad move. I couldn't go
excursion.
forward. Yeah, it was an excursion.
When was this?
This is like a year ago or so.
Shit, really?
Found one out in California, flew out, bought that, and I ran it for a year. Just, it wasn't for me. I kind of missed the Chevy. It's like when when you're driving something else, you miss what you had. And I was like, I got to go back to Chevy.
You don't know what you got until it's gone.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, well, let's just get right into, I think, a huge topic in this podcast. And obviously, you are the editor-in-chief of Torment Magazine, which is an incredible thing for snowboarding. And I would love to hear kind of the origin story of how it came about with you and John.
Yeah, for sure. We had been chatting a lot after Rendered Useless because we did Rendered Useless together, which was kind of cool because we hadn't really worked together much. So I was snowboarding during that, but I had just kind of hurt my knee the previous year, that homage year. And midway through the season, it kind of dawned on me, like, this thing's pretty bad. I might not be snowboarding. I might not be filming much. And so throughout that year, I kind of started picking up the camera more, picking up both photo and helping John film. And we kind of like working together. It was kind of cool. Into that summer, after that, we just kind of kept talking. And next year, we ended up going on a couple trips for Pepper that he was filming. And I ended up getting a kind of a pretty crazy surgery coming up after that. At the same time, John was kind of thinking, I want to start a magazine. He told me that. I'm like, dude, you're crazy. It sounds hard. But I also, at the same time, was like, I'll be your photo editor. I'll help you out if you want to do this, And pretty much that summer, we kind of got together where we started, putting together photos and getting the thing laid out. But really, this was John's conception. He had come in and it was his idea, the Torment, the name was him. I just kind of was like, dude, let me help where I can, pretty much. I think it was shortly after that where Transworld went out of business. And we had made issue 1 and people liked it. They liked buying it. Going into the next year, I remember it was funny because John was doing this kind of making a promo for Torment, and he wasn't so sold on the magazine. And he was in North Carolina. They got a freak storm in the Piedmont Triangle there. It was Indian, so he was down there with Cole Navin, and we're on the phone. I'm like, dude, should I get a flight? He's kind of, I don't know, $400. And I'm like, are we making a magazine or not? He's like, fuck, you're right. Let's go. And so flew down there, shot photos. Those all ended up in issue 2. And it kind of kept rolling from there, But it started off just, super small, super, we weren't taking it too seriously at first,
I love that. And I would love to hear, your thoughts on the philosophy behind the magazine, because if you look at it, most magazines are absolutely littered with advertisements rather, every other page. And your guys is like, there's no real noticeable ads, and, it's got a very distinct look. I would love to hear you talk about what the philosophy was behind what you wanted to look and feel like.
I think John and I were just over getting ads shoved down our throats, it's from everywhere. On Instagram, every magazine. It was just, we were just seeing it a lot. We're like, how can we go about this in a different way? Could we do no ads in the magazine if we tried? And we're like, that's kind of a crazy idea. What would that look like? But that was the philosophy early on, which was, there's a lot of photos that are just getting wasted on Instagram. And we hated that too. It's like this small format. We weren't into it. So that was the original thing. Let's print these photos that are normally just going to get wasted. Let's put them in print, large format, and let's try to make this thing without ads and see if we can kind of get a brand to get behind it, which was Vans early on. That was issue 2. They came in and helped cover some of the printing costs for that. But it was, it was a slow process trying to convince brands to, like, hey, we're going to have photos in there. We're going to have stories. We'll have interviews. But we're not going to do an ad for you. You might see your product show up, but, at the end of the day, you're going to get a logo and then a mag. You're going to be a part of this thing we're creating. And somehow that worked. So we were pretty hyped on that. And still today, we just ended up making it bigger and longer each year. We had more people come to us with photos. And, then we brought on Ollie as photo editor, and that really helped.
Hit the air on.
Huge shout out to Ollie. And we kind of started working together on picking these, what photos are really going to tell this story that we're trying to do. And a lot of that was lifestyle. A lot of that wasn't these trick-based photos, action photos. It was kind of what are these people like? Just relaxing. What's this photo going to do? What's this going to say to the reader? And we tried to base a lot of decisions on that, and still do. That was kind of some of the philosophy early on.
Wow, that gives it a unique feel, because the thing is so thick these days. It's almost like a photo book of amazing photos. And I imagine you have a pile of photos that come in. You get all this incredible photos that all come at you from all different directions. I almost want to hear a little bit more about how hard the selection is to figure out what goes in.
Oh, dude, it's impossible. It's so hard. I mean, we probably get 50 photographers submitting photos, and each of those are, anywhere from 50 to 200 photos in that selection. And it takes a while. The only kind of saving grace is that they come in staggered. Sometimes we'll get shit at May, and then we won't get our last submission until literally before deadline. That kind of helps, but it's hard. We look at it all together. So sometimes we'll do this thing where we'll do blind picks. So John will pick some, Ollie will pick some, and I'll pick some, and we'll see what overlap and see what we like between them. And we always like that. It's kind of fun to see where we line up. Sometimes it's pretty much every one. Sometimes it's none. So that way of kind of culling all these images down definitely helps. And then what ends up making it into the final mag again gets cut down. Sometimes the mag's 300 pages on my computer before we actually start cutting to get down to, I think last year was 240 or something. But the process is slow. It's also the best part though, because you get to, envision what this is going to look like before you put it all together.
Mm-hmm. Have you noticed submissions going down with lack of people shooting photos at this point? I feel like back in the day there was a photog with every single crew, and now 4 out of 5 crews has no one shooting photos.
Yeah, that's a good question.
But it also leaves room for other people to just shoot photos like homies. And then I see you guys run a lot of photos that aren't necessarily from Ollie G or whoever, like a real
Dude, for
snowboard
sure.
photographer. It's like so and so with a point and shoot, and this
Yeah.
photo's sick. Let's run it. you know?
Yeah, no, that's a good thing. I mean, John and I talk about this all the time. Like, you know, our photographers declining. Where are we at? You know, who else is coming into the space?
100%. Are there young kids into photography?
No,
snowboard photography?
yeah,
Like,
they're for sure. There's a lot of new kids coming in. Something else we do is we open it up to public submissions. So any photographer from anywhere can just throw their photos in.
That's cool.
Sometimes we like highlighting that because it's kind of, you know, it gets those guys super hyped up and their crew hyped up. And it's also like, dude, anyone can put it in, you know, if we like the vibe and where it's going. But yeah, in terms of, it's hard to say. I feel like at first there wasn't as many, and it seems like there's more photographers coming up. You know, but right around when like Transworld went out and stuff, it felt like people were, you know, it felt like it was slowing down a little bit. But I do think it's coming back. I think more kids are picking up a camera. And so, I don't know. I'm feeling optimistic about it at least.
I like that. Now, talking about photos selections, I think a really cool one to bring up, which is a bit obscure. I'm a fan. It's incredible. But the latest cover is Parker Zumowski.
Yeah.
And he looks like he's in a prison cell and he's got a lot of emotion going on. Generally, the cover of a magazine would be like a banger photo, as we all know. I would love to hear the logic behind the Parker Zoom cover.
You know, that one was funny. I think that came from wanting to do something different on our end. I mean, you do something every year, year after year. It kind of gets boring. It gets stale.
I mean, I'm looking at the three of them behind you right now, and like, yeah, they're all great covers. But to be honest, the Parker one sticks out the most.
I mean, that's kind of
No disrespect to any of the other covers, but like, I scan and I'm like, I'm drawn to that one.
Right.
Just because it's different.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what we were going with. We wanted something different. We wanted for us to get hyped on something that was different. And half of that is just like what inspires us personally, right? Because if it's not inspiring us, then, you know, are people going to be hyped on the mag? So I remember seeing that one. It was Ollie's Selects, obviously. And I'm like, dude, this Parker one's fucking hilarious. He looks like he's in a prison cell. It's got this emotion. And I was like, what if we just did lifestyle, you know, put something like that on the cover. John was down. Ollie was super down. It was kind of funny, though, because we drag our feet a lot. Just too much to do sometimes. And so we didn't really think about like, all right, this might be a cover until a little too late. And Ollie was pretty much like, yo, sorry, I already run an ad campaign for Vans. And I was like, fuck, dude, we need this photo. And we didn't think we were going to get it. We were going to try to have to do something else, like do an action shot of Parker or something else. But I think how it went is I called Davey Staggs and I was like, where are we at in this process? Because Casillo, you know, I called him and he's like, dude, it's kind of, I don't know, see if you know, call Staggs. And he was art director of Vans. And he kind of hooked it up. He's like, let me see where we're at with printing the window displays of it. Because that was the real holdup. Those had already gone to print. We're like, man, we don't want this photo to end up on on Milo right before the mag drops. And I don't know what magic he worked, but he was able to hook it up. And he called me back one day. He goes, dude, we pulled it from everything. You're good to go. I was like, huge shout out to Staggs for that one.
Yeah, hit him.
Legend. Now, we can edit this out if not, Silk, but while we got Ollie in the room, do you want to grab the mic? Do you have anything to say about that photo? Do you want to talk about why it's so sick?
I would love to hear Ollie on it.
Okay. So, yeah.
Man, a few words.
If you didn't pick that up, Ollie said that Ian said it all.
Yeah. I mean, it was also kind of, we knew we were doing a main interview with Parker. We kind of hadn't really like let that be known yet, but it's always nice when you can line up like a main feature in the mag with the cover. Mm-hmm. And that's what we were.
And big year for the kid. That's your guy. He had a few covers. He had a freaking 2 video part. Basically, he was the marquee, the Vans video. He had a boot campaign.
Yeah,
like,
two full parts. It was.
What are we doing?
We
like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, well, that was kind of played into it in my head. I was like, fuck it, he deserves this. Like, let's go cover. Let's go back cover. Let's go inside back cover. And Ollie had this awesome photo of Parker and Rav, and Parker's just flicking off the cover. I'm like, that's going to be a nice ender on inside back cover. So, yeah, you know, some of it's like kind of just to make a little bit of a joke, you know, like that kind of thing.
I love it.
The kid deserves it. So we were super down.
I like that. And I've heard, I don't know anything about it, but I've heard the process of making the magazine rings true to the name of the magazine, Torment. I've heard you basically just lock yourself in your office and for months on end are just tormenting yourself putting this thing together. Can you explain what that process looks like?
Yeah, that process kind of is rough at times. Yeah, it's funny how the name Torment kind of started lining up with what we were getting ourselves into day to day. Just John and I. Now we have Caleb. He's doing online editing. We have Matt doing social. Ollie helping with photos and photo editing. But at first, it was rough. It was like, all right, how are we going to juggle 8 brands, deliverables, make a mag, make a movie? And so we joked, we're like, yeah, we really did to kind of start tormenting ourselves. The magazine process was the exact same thing. It just takes a lot. And I think one thing early on was kind of when it switched from John's computer to mine on issue 2 and issue 3, I was way more concerned about pleasing people, and making it something that people would like. And I think that put a lot of pressure on me personally. And I put in more time with it for sure. I kind of second guess a lot of different points with it. As it got to issue 3 with Arthur, and then Nick, they're all kind of blended in. But anyway, Nick cover, Kennedy cover, and then this Parker one. I kind of felt like I got into a little bit more of a process and a program, and just cared less what people think. It was like, fuck it, we're gonna do this thing. We're gonna make it how we want, and that definitely helped. But yeah, some of the last couple of weeks are just, draining. I think some of the more brutal ones were you sit there for 24 hours straight, and you got the deadline in a day, and I always push it back one day. I can never hit it. And John's usually with me up till 3 a.m. We're doing captions. We're trying to get it all done. But yeah, there's some long hauls, 30 hours straight, 24 hours straight, just trying to get this thing done. And you want it to be right. You want people to not see some typos. That's also another thing. I fucking hate those.
Dude, I remember, excuse me, I was trying to I was swinging through Colorado or whatever, and I was like, yo, you think I could stay for a night? And you were like, to be honest, dude, I don't know. I'm fucked. The deadline's in 24 hours. And I'm like, what, dude? I can't crash. And he was just like,
yeah,
nah, dude.
That was a straight no.
Yeah, which really goes to show you, the dedication and the time he's putting into it.
Yeah. And it's a collaborative process too, right? There's, especially kind of towards the end, it ends up kind of just becoming, it's on my shoulders, John, Ollie, to try to get it all wrapped up. But from the start, it's a huge collaboration. And we have, sometimes 40 or 50 people who are all in on different stuff, whether it's freelance designers that we're hiring, and obviously all the photographers, 30 to 40 photographers, and we have writers who are doing different writing for us. So it's cool because on any day, I can talk to 30 people about the process and checking in on different, the status and progress of where different articles are at. We couldn't do it without all that help. That's just, it would never get done. So, and people care too. That's what I found out. They care as much as we do about making it into something that, isn't going to get tossed in the trash. It's going to sit on a coffee table, whatever. That was always kind of the goal.
I love that. And I think that's a great, just what you just said there about people care. I think it's really important because we all care about snowboarding deeply, and people care deeply about Torment because it represents a lot of the same ideals of a lot of people that live and breathe snowboarding. And we sit down and it's fun. Ian comes to town, we go get coffee, we talk about running our small businesses and the challenges that come with it. But there's also the beauty of it that we talked about how it kind of weans people out too.
Yeah, it does. I mean, one thing that's become clear over the last couple of years is, you got to love it. If you don't love it, you're out. That's just a given. Because, it's overall, it's kind of, snowboarding's not huge. There's not a ton of money. It's definitely not the early 2000s. And so to keep it going, you really got to love it. You got to like what you do. And yeah, Chris, we talk about all the, just the connections that we get to chat about with all these different people. And there's a lot of awesome things about it that I really enjoy.
Yeah, that's a good one too. Like relationships, right? Like your relationships running a magazine. I'm sure you're on the phone. You're talking to a million different people in all these different aspects of snowboarding, and it's really like how important are the relationships to you in managing this magazine?
Oh, I mean, it's huge. Without this, I wouldn't talk to half the people, right? Sometimes it's like you got to pick up the phone and talk about something, but you end up shooting the shit for like 30 minutes or whatever. You're like, damn, it was nice to catch up with that person. And I love that. I love the people that we get to work with, that we get to talk to. So much of this, even from the beginning, it's just been about like who you know and how you keep in touch with them. And that's awesome. I mean, going all the way back, like, meeting Rav and Bundy, Ted Borland, and then getting to keep up with those connections and those friendships, the last 15 years. Like, that's special. You don't get that with every industry, especially if you leave and just bail, or whatever. You move jobs, you move whatever happens, but it's kind of cool to stay in touch. I like that.
100%. Go ahead.
What I want to know is, what are the other names for the mag that got chopped? What was like the second, like, because to be completely honest, when I first heard Torment, I was like, I don't know if I'm into it, and now I love it. But like band names, mag names,
sure.
anything sounds stupid until you just say it a lot.
For sure.
And then it starts to sound sick. Like what were
Dude,
some
honestly,
of the other front runners?
I probably put up some stupid shit early on, like, but I don't remember.
Yeah.
I mean, this is 7 years ago now.
Jesus.
Which is crazy on its own. But I remember John calling me. It's like, I want to call it Torment. And I was like, that's fucking crazy.
No, but it works. I like it now. I think it's great.
Yeah, I like it now too. Yeah. It's got it's got a little bit of a punch to it.
Yeah.
We like it's got this double meaning.
Yeah. It reads well too. Like visually, it looks cool.
Yeah, visually it looks cool.
Do you want to?
Part of
you talked about the double meaning. Is there any more to add to that? Have you fully?
No, we
explained
kind of hashed it out pretty good, but it was also just you do as a snowboarder. I think you got to put yourself through some shit. And you always do. Like, if you want something, you want a trick, you're going to have to put yourself through a little bit. And so there was always that. If you're at a spot, whatever, backcountry or street, and you want something, you're going to take some slams. And you're going to have to push through that. There's definitely going to be some mental going on up there. And that's kind of part of it, too, where, all right, can I push through this? Can I get back to this headspace that's going to be good? Is my body going to be good? All that plays into the name.
Mm-hmm. So you went from tormenting yourself frontboarding kink rails to tormenting yourself making a magazine.
Yeah, it's pretty
Just
much
a vicious cycle.
Never ends.
There's some good stuff in the middle, but yeah.
Now, do you guys got employees? I know you got, is it Caleb? It's Caleb,
Yeah,
right?
Caleb. Yeah, Caleb Cammons. Matt Norris. And they kind of handle all the back end of the website. We couldn't do shit without Caleb. Huge shout out. Ollie, obviously. And that's kind of like our main group. That's our main group. And then we have some other people that we just call on for help, like advisor type people who are definitely like instrumental into, because we didn't know anything. We're just like two guys, John and I, who were kind of shooting photos and filming, like never went to business school. And then this is something we talked about a bunch where it's like the whole business side just kind of hit us like a bus. Mm-hmm. We're trying to figure out how to handle this, manage this, accountants, bookkeepers, lawyers, like all this stuff that, we were just kind of winging it at first. Now we've slowly started to pick it up, but I mean, for sure, it's the least favorite thing that I want to deal with. Mm-hmm. Just kind of want to shoot photos, film, snowboard, lay photos out into a magazine. But to keep it going, you got to do the emails, the brand, partnerships, Zoom calls, all that stuff, All
right, let's talk about Autumn Headwear. Big fan of their product. They make a bunch of our beanies here at the Bomb Hole. They make the Run Through a Wall. They make the one I'm currently wearing. And they have all different types of style beanies. Their motto is style matters. And everybody on the team has great style. So they got a bunch of different style beanies. They have the deep resi surplus fit, which is the hat that I'm wearing right now. They got the shorty fit, which is the shallow one you might catch Silk D wearing. And they got the simple fit, which is right in between. They got a great team of riders, great team of people. It's snowboarder owned. Got Brad Alban involved, who's a straight up OG, Lil Jeff. Good people doing good things. Check out autumnheadwear.com. They got so many different cool styles of beanies. and use promo code BOMBHOLE for 20% off your order. And get your dome piece kitted out at autumnheadwear.com. Use promo code BOMBHOLE. All right, we're going to talk to you guys about some speakers. I'm a big fan of these speakers. We're talking Turtlebox, and they deliver the best sounding, most durable, portable speakers available. Let me tell you, you can put these things through the ringer. So the Turtlebox Gen 2 portable speaker is 100% waterproof while boasting best-in-class audio and up to 20 plus hours of playtime. You don't need to charge it. You can be slapping tunes for 20 hours. As a plus, you can pair multiple Turtlebox speakers together at the same time to enjoy a true AB surround sound experience. Simply put, the Turtlebox is an extremely fun product designed for days at the mountain, on the water, in the backyard, and everywhere in between. To learn more, check out turtleboxaudio.com and get yourself that Gen 2 portable speaker. It's a great product. Slap some tunes, have some good times with your friends. I think it would be fun to get into the 2020 Pride Week that Torment did. I thought that was one of the most monumental things that's ever happened in snowboarding because it was 5 very prolific people in snowboarding coming out, which is a big fucking deal, and it was done beautifully, and it all happened at once, and I would love to hear how that came to be.
Yeah, that was cool. Early on, I'm not sure what we did to kind of make it feel open with Torment to come to us with these stories, but, it was kind of spearheaded by Tanner. He had a story he wanted to kind of come out publicly, and he wanted to tell that story through our platform. And so we immediately, thought this is going to be a really special moment. We want to tell this story accurately. We want to do an interview that's just open, honest, and, to make this into an important step. And then I think, a couple other people started getting on board with this. It was going to happen in June. I think this was 2020. But, Kennedy, Chad, Jill. And so we started lining up, interviews with them to just go on the site. It wasn't anything crazy. It was just interview on the site. Let's tell the story. And then right at the end, Jay Kuzik decided he wanted to also tell his story. And that was really cool because we didn't know, and their whole story with Tanner and Jake finding out together as they were talking, and it dawned on them, and they kind of brought it up. So it was cool that we could ask those questions about how those stories collided. But it just felt like something that snowboarding needed at the time, hugely, and hadn't really been done in a big way, in a little while. And we just wanted to do it justice. We just wanted to get it out there. We wanted to, have some quotes show up on Instagram that we were going to be, okay, like, let's go read these. Not like, hey, I'm just going to skim over this on Instagram, but like, let's go read these stories. These are important. And I think that led to, just down the road going forward, more people felt comfortable. I mean, in this space you should be comfortable to open up and be yourself in this space, and we were proud of that. We were happy how it went. And really just grateful that they wanted to do that and tell it with us.
How was the response from your audience and the community?
I think it was huge. I think it was so overdue that it was really great. It was just this outpouring of love for these people, who they really are coming out. And I think people are just psyched to see that, honestly. And it was just, like, as I said, it was special, and it was much needed.
100%. Yeah, I thought that was one of the coolest things that's happened in snowboarding in the past decade. And then to fast forward, kind of interesting, I don't remember who it was, but there was like some shots at Turrier in one of those interviews, I believe. And so I believe that I think that a lot of people have kind of pointed the finger at Torment as a magazine for quote unquote canceling Turrier. Do you want to address this at all? I'd love it. I mean,
that's wild.
Yeah.
I'll throw in my 2 cents on this. I'll start off by saying I totally get it. I totally 100% get how anyone could, point fingers at us, say it was our fault. What happened to Terrier is pretty shitty. It's terrible. I feel bad for him. I don't think that, I don't necessarily think that it should have shaken out that way. At the same time, it wasn't on us. It wasn't on Tanner. Kind of a little bit of the details are, Tanner just mentioned in his interview that he thought it was kind of whack that, when Terrier says homophobic things. That was it. It was kind of one line in the interview.
People drag Tanner through the mud too, which is outrageous.
Yeah,
dude.
Tanner got dragged through the mud.
Crazy.
A little bit. And so what kind of started off as just a comment here, it kind of just escalated and ballooned a little bit, where, it turned into something, I think, a little bit bigger, and unfortunately so. Long story short, Burton, I guess ended up dropping him. I just don't think that is a 100% relation to this instance, this situation. This wasn't a hit piece on Terrier. I love Terrier, and I think there was a lot of factors that went into it. Tanner was just trying to say, hey, these actions, these comments, these hurt me personally, and they probably hurt other people.
And are the reason why people stayed closeted for a long time.
And
Good point.
It doesn't help because you want
Change your shit up.
you want to kind of keep yourself safe, which is perfectly reasonable. And that's all Tanner was trying. That's all he was trying to do. That's all he was trying to say. And the fact that everything that happened, after that with Terrier, I think is a bummer. But to me, these are not necessarily perfectly linked. It's hard to say from a brand's perspective, a marketing perspective, all the other factors that go into it. Honestly, I don't know them. I can't.
I'm sure there was a lot more than just that, or maybe that was the straw that broke the camel's back. It's definitely unfortunate that it had to end that way, because I don't think anyone wanted that to happen that way.
Right.
Which sucks.
It's like, no, you shouldn't lose all your sponsors. Like, I don't like this cancel culture bullshit.
Yeah,
right?
like, let's learn and let's figure it out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't really back, like, let's fucking cancel this person. No, fuck that. Like, let's dive into this. Let's give people a second chance. Let's talk about it.
Slippery slope.
It's a slippery slope there. Kind of get into that for a while, but I'm gonna leave it at that.
No, I think you covered it. I think you covered it beautifully in that. I think you said what needed to be said, and I mean, at the end of the day, you guys are making a magazine, and when you put you put yourself out in the public, it subjects people for their opinions on things.
Yeah,
and that's
another thing. It's like, we're not gonna censor that shit out. We're just trying to have a little bit of journalism, right? We're trying to, do that. And so it wasn't, we weren't trying to censor anything or anything like that.
That's a good question too. It's like, all of a sudden, this, maybe you and I, we could probably relate to this on a similar level, is that, we came up filming video parts, snowboarding, all of a sudden, like, grab a microphone, start doing a podcast. Unbeknownst to me, I'm a journalist of some sort, right? Like, you're like, and then for you start a magazine, and all of a sudden you're a fucking journalist,
dipshit / journalist.
Yeah. So, was there an arc to learning how to be a journalist, quote unquote, air quotes?
Journalist, yeah, that's a funny one. I mean, that I think was easy, just being so close to snowboarding and liking this and liking the people who are involved. And it's like, all right, what's this person like? That's easy. Asking questions, I've always loved asking questions. But I'd never done an interview, for sure. We did Arthur's interview, and then Nick. It's like, I'd never done interviews in this way, but I liked it. I knew that I liked it. I knew that I liked asking questions, trying to get to the bottom, like, what makes a person, what all goes into how this person has ended up here today. So I like that. But yeah, it's still, the journalism thing is still funny. I'm like, I'm not a fucking journalist.
Do you think you've gotten better?
Just a dipshit.
Yeah.
Do you think you've gotten better at conducting good interviews and, like, how to bring those little morsels of interesting information out of people?
I don't fucking know, maybe. I'd like to think so. But it still is tough. Like, I'm still figuring out that process for written interviews, like Parker's. I still asked way too many questions, strayed left and right all over the fucking place. None of that made it in. Cole's was the hardest for sure. Mm-hmm. I remember that being 50,000 words after multiple recorded conversations. And I was like, how the hell am I going to weave this into something? And John really helped with that. Taylor Boyd really helped with that. He used to work as editor at Transworld. He's actually my roommate. Yeah, huge shout out to Taylor. He's been a huge help with the mag. Like I was saying, it's made up of so many people who throw advice and input in. But yeah, I remember, I think he was the one who told me, he's like, dude, print it out. And so I printed out 50 pages of text and laid it out all over kind of the floor and the table and tried to actually physically put the interview together in that way.
Just to see what it looked like visually.
Yeah, just to see how, like, all right, where's this going to line up? How's it going to start? How's it going to end? What's the weave, the arc? Like how's this thing mending together, you know?
Yeah.
And then just definitely reading through it and crossing shit out and then cutting the paper up and moving it.
That'll go a long way.
Yeah, that really helped. So I'd like to think a little bit, I mean, trying to strive to be a little better.
Give yourself some credit.
Yeah, we'll
Hey,
see.
you're doing great. That Cole interview especially was like one of my favorite interviews.
100%.
He's got so much depth, and for being such a young kid, you'd think he's like 35 years old.
When I first met Cole, I thought he
wise,
was 35. He was
for
like 16.
Yeah, totally.
I'm like, dude, you're using vocab that my parents don't use. Like, what?
Yeah.
Where the fuck did you learn
Yeah,
this?
he's smart.
You're from Massachusetts like the rest of us. What happened?
Totally.
Yeah, you know, he's super smart and really well spoken, super thoughtful too. Like he slows down and really thinks about what's going to come out of his mouth, and that helps too.
I think another big pillar of Torment too. I feel like it's always in the peripheral of Torment in some way or another. But Dillon Ojo's legacy has been tied with your guys'
Dude,
past.
for sure. I forgot to even mention that was so much of John's inspiration early on, you know. And John was closer than I was with him. But that was just, you know, how do you deal with the loss of someone you absolutely love? Like this huge, like, personality, staple, inspiration within snowboarding is now gone. And I think that was just, it's hard. Part of the name, Torment, also coming back to that, like, what, you know, when we lose someone, what do we do? And so a lot of that energy, I think John kind of funneled into that first issue of Torment. And we try to, you know, throw a photo in every year, like get Dillon in there.
Put him on the cove.
Dude,
Fuck it,
next
let's
cover,
go.
fucking issue 7.
The next 3 years, just fucking do it.
Yeah, and Vans too. You guys have done incredible with the
Trying. Yeah, I mean, it's you struggle with the, like, how do you keep the legacy of someone alive? Because when it first happens, everyone's so motivated and, like, you're in this, like, honeymoon phase of, like, we just lost someone so close to us and, like, we want to keep it going. And 3-4 years go by, people start doing other stuff, and then you start, at least me, I'm like, okay, are we not doing enough? Like, how do we continue to do this without letting it fade, you know? I don't know, it's a tough question.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do you keep the legacy going of someone you lost in your life? I mean, we've all had friends that passed, and it's like, I don't know, it's just a weird thing.
It's a really weird thing, but it's so important to, you know, keep that going and also have fun with it. What were the good times? Like, you know, you don't want it just to be, you know, you want to elevate these, like, happy times that you had, the good stories. Maybe there's a Dillon documentary in the future. We always kind of
Or
talked
just
about
interview
that.
Elaine, interview his mom. That'd be fucking
something
sick.
like that would be super cool.
When this stuff happens, I always feel as though the best question to ask is like, what would our buddy we lost want? What would they and they would look at Vans and they'd look at Torment and they'd be fucking psyched.
Yeah.
And that's it. So you're doing it.
Yeah, for
you
sure.
know what I mean? And that's how you honor him.
I think so. And also it's like he's seeing that for sure. No doubt in my mind, you know, he's seeing that we're still having a good time. We're still snowboarding. Seeing that, you know, we got to get him up here in the mag, you know, in a photo. Like, he's hyped.
I love that. Well, we got 3 bros from Massachusetts here. I'd love to run back to the roots of the greatest state in the United States.
The Commonwealth,
aka Massachusetts. Where are you born and raised?
Winchester. I was born in Reading, Mass. Then moved to Winchester shortly after, so raised there. Yeah.
Winchester.
And the one thing I found so interesting with your snowboarding is that I feel like you snowboarded in the streets growing up more than you snowboarded at the resort.
Oh, that's for sure true.
Is that a fact?
That's for sure true. Yeah, it was easy. It's like
you're the classic, like, no, I say this with the most respect, better in the streets maybe than, like, in the park.
Oh, dude,
or something.
I can't ride the park for shit.
Yeah,
I'm
and it's
terrified.
like usually the opposite. You know exactly what the fuck's going on outside of the park.
Yeah, nah, I'd much rather be
when you're in control.
Yeah, I'd be on a handrail. I mean, it was just, you know, same same shit as anyone, like golf course close to my house, building jumps there. I mean, we were always sledding. Like my dad was super into that. So it was easy. My brothers and I would build rails and we set them up in our yard or whatever.
I've seen the home videos. They're reckless.
Yeah, we were fucking doing crazy shit. But yeah, that was it. Kind of like, I'm gonna hike this rail that I built 100 times in a day, and just that's kind of how I got comfortable on that. Like, I go to the mountains sometimes now, and I'm like, dude, I can't hit like all these rails in a row. Jumps, forget about it. I'm not hitting those, but it's way harder. You got to link tricks. It's like doing a whole run. Whereas when you're in the streets, you're literally hiking a down rail. You hike back up, just single focus. Mentality is just right on one thing, and that makes it way easier.
One of the things that baffles me the most was, I remember when we were snowboarding. I think it might have been when you came out to Utah, but I remember you had a brand new snowboard at one point. This guy had a brand new snowboard, and he's like, I can't ride this thing. It's like too new. It's too fast. So he grabs the base and starts like fucking it up on a rock because he's so used to riding down stairs with a mangled base that he couldn't ride a board that is like a performance right out of the package machine.
Can we get some scratches on this thing, please?
This thing is perfect. Let me absolutely fuck it up. I don't remember that specific instance, but it makes perfect sense. I do remember not being able to ride a new board. I was so used to these, old beat up decks. I mean, the speed grooves, you need some channels on your board. It's kind of crazy, but if you think about it, you're hitting a spot.
Core shots.
Yeah, you're hitting a spot, right? And you say it's taking you way too many tries. So it's kind of getting dark. It's a little icy. You're riding the same in run. It's real icy. On a new board, you're fucking left and right all over the place. With a bunch of scratches down your board, it kind of holds you in that groove a little, and you get a little lateral push off with that thing. Yeah. I mean, I don't
some hairs on the base,
Yeah, I don't run that now, but I always liked a weathered board where you got some core shots, you got some stuff in it, and then you wax it over. It's a little fast still, but you still got a little bit
of character.
Yeah, you got a little side to side traction, and I really I don't know. It still helps. I still a new board.
A lot of people are looking for low friction. He's looking for high friction east to west.
Yeah,
If we can maybe put some sandpaper on the bottom of this thing, it might work.
Right, no, sandpaper. That's going to slow you down. I'm thinking grooves, wax, then you're ready to go. Dull those edges down to a 45. You'll never catch.
Shouts to the street dweller.
Well, you've had some iconic front board. The kid's got a front board on him.
He's got a mean front board.
The kids, where did that thing come out of? You've harnessed that. That's your moneymaker.
Yeah, where'd you learn how to front board? Backyard or a ski resort?
Backyard for sure.
What kind of rail are we talking? Like Element flat bar or?
No, it was a Home Depot rail built with my dad. Like, we're 2 feet high. We hit a couple. I think it was a double barrel, actually. We like the double barrel, seeing those in the park.
Big fan of the shotgun rail.
Yeah. Yeah, so two pipes, just put on a 2x4.
Kind of a lost art form.
And then I would watch, I'd watch all the old videos, like, True Life, all this stuff. I'm like, dude, they're hitting street style. Gotta go street style. So just 2 lips.
From
and
the
then
side.
Just from the side. And I don't know. I always had trouble with like going off my heel edge. So front board just was easy. You get that toe side edge, you just pop on. And from skateboarding too, I could kind of always do front boards on a little rail better on a skateboard anyway.
You got a timeless front board.
It was also a lot of that was just riding and hitting handrails early on, where I couldn't hit a park rail because it didn't have like a street style lip or whatever. So I try to just learn tricks on a handrail. There's a really sick one in Carlisle, the 16 stair rail that we used to just go set up. Another good one was the Medford High School rail. Do you remember that thing? We hit that thing in roll call. No, right near there, down the road from there. And that was...
What trick are you doing?
Front board.
Okay.
Wait, what was it?
Oh, it was in roll call. I did switchback lip on it. And that it was like a mellow down rail. You can hit it from both sides, right against a brick wall.
Fuck, I don't remember that one.
Yeah, that was kind of like my brother and I's go-to.
Medford High is with the big kink?
Medford High is the big kink, yeah.
With the trash can at the top?
Yeah, exactly, okay, yeah. But down the road, there's just it was just at the library. We just called it the library rails, like our Hillian run, kind of nice. But.
Ian was also spot god from like back before like Google Earth was popping and shit. Like he knew everything in Massachusetts. It was actually fucked.
Dude, I'd just drive around solo. Like forever, hours and hours, all over Boston, New Hampshire, anywhere.
But you also had the connection because your brother's a skier, right?
Yeah, my brother Cam's a skier.
Yeah. So Cam, like, I feel like we had snowboard spots. He had like these secret ski spots too.
Yeah. I grew up with these two kids, Alex and Nick Martini, and they were always kind of looking for spots too. So I'd share with them and find them. But I just remember just driving around, blazing a little bowl rolling, cruising. Like Harry and I would do this. We talk about the same thing. We're doing the same thing, just north and south of Boston. But that was the best. It's one, it gets you out of your head, right? Because you got one goal. It's like, all right, let's see what's around this next corner. And it was always what's down the next street, what's down this. This was definitely before Google, and it was intentional to get lost. You just get mad lost in these old.
Yeah, were you just driving blindly, or what's
For sure,
just see where you end
100%
up?
just
Yeah.
blind.
Yeah.
No, and then you pop out on some like main artery, and you're like, oh, I know where I am.
Yeah.
And like, all right, can I get back? Can I get back there? I don't know, but yeah, I've always loved that. I still love that. I still love spot searching.
Well, that's the thing with like spot searching there as opposed to here. Like here, it's just like a little blip of population on the side of this mountain range, and that's it.
Yeah.
Whereas like back home, you drive for like 8 hours, and you're just like consistently in civilization
Yeah.
and infrastructure and like people and like
Densely settled.
densely settled. And so
Super
like,
dense.
but also like. You could go to a place that was 30 minutes from where you grew up that you've never been before.
Dude, and you
Because
can right in your next town over.
Exactly.
Just skip over it because a lot of times you're driving, but if you get out and walk for a little bit,
Damn, you'd walk. You wouldn't catch me walking.
dude. No, just
You
like
might catch Harry driving directly into a snowbank while scoping a spot, which we have done before.
Yep.
that happens.
No
You're not-
brakes. Hit an
not
ice
paying
bank at
attention
like
at all.
10 mph. Almost hit my head off the steering wheel.
Airbags did not deploy, luckily.
No, but we cracked the front bumper.
Did we? Oh,
Shouts
yeah.
to the journey.
Yeah, shout out to the
RIP.
journey.
Oh,
yep.
that's funny.
It's not about the destination.
It's not about it's trail
Anyway,
rated.
continue.
Yeah.
So another thing I want to ask. So we're in our 30s here. I think about I still fucking flip a Yui when I got an idea. I don't know what that set of stairs was, but I'm flipping a Yui. I'm
Shouts to
pulling
the
back
Yui.
in. Shout out to the spot Yui when you're on just like an errand run.
It's actually banging a Yui.
Yeah, banging a Yui. You're banging
you
a
absolutely
Yui.
hit the brakes too.
At what age?
Yeah.
Are you going to be probably almost causing car accidents, flipping a Yui for a potential spot? You think you're going to be 75 years old, see a hubba, and flip a Yui?
Dude, 70 is kind of crazy. I'll give it a clean 60 though, no doubt.
Yeah, right. You're going to be doing it at 70. As long as you can drive, you'll be pulling over.
I guess it depends.
For sure.
Yeah,
Same with
if I
me.
have kids, I'm going to be looking for spots for them for sure. So, and then they might have grandkids look for their spots too. You're
Yep.
just fucking, who knows?
Guys, my grandpa's going to come pull the bungee.
My crazy ass grandpa is going to show up.
Dude.
He front boarded this thing in 08.
Dude.
It's 2050.
Oh, wait. Yeah, 2050. You got me out there trying
It's
to
the
pull
last
lunge.
bungee in
Can't
existence.
walk. Dude, we still got 3. I think my dad's got 2 of them. Yeah, he's holding them.
Pay the mortgage.
He used
Fucking
to,
sell
yeah, he
those
used to
things.
do a little pulling bungee back in the day.
Wow.
Your
He
dad?
would come, dude. Yeah, he would come to spots. Like I remember one time we were at Christmas. It was Christmas Day. It was the only time we could hit the spot because it was at a country club, and and we're like, yo, and we were kind of. This was a few years before, I don't know, sometime like maybe the leak year or something. But I was like, Cam, this is my brother Cam. I'm like, we got to go hit that rail today. It's the only day. So we like did the whole Christmas thing. We're like, all right, we got to go to set up the spot. And my dad's like, I'm gonna come shovel, help out. He'll run the camera. I mean, he's been filming us since we were probably 7, 8 years old on anything.
How is he with the lenses like Harry
Dude,
Dwaves
he's actually
out there? Or nice?
he's actually pretty
Does
good.
he work the
honestly.
corners?
Yeah, he works the corners pretty good. He knows how to frame it. He used to be a little better. I think he's kind of fallen off a little bit now. But
Same,
yeah, that was
same.
funny. Like he would just come chill and like he'd just be so down to see what we're doing.
But that's got to be the sickest shit ever. If you're like a dad, you got 3
Yeah,
kids,
right?
and they've been like doing dumb shit since the beginning, and now on Christmas Day they're like going to hit a fucking rail at a golf course.
Yeah.
Like fuck it.
It
I'm
was,
coming. I don't want to sit at the house.
Dude, yeah, it was that. I think it was in the leak. It's this crazy. It's like a 8-9 kink wood rail. It just kind of goes down and then
Kind of got
elbows
down
at
with
the
the
end.
wood rails for a minute.
Fuck, why not?
Why not?
Yeah,
So it's in the league.
I think it might have been.
Shouts
yeah.
to the leak.
I think
That
it
shit
was
fucked
actually.
me up.
I gotta ask too. We talked about the Raponda rail. Stevens' frontboard fakie. Were
Yeah.
you there that day?
Dude, I was there that day.
No.
Yeah, that was 2004, and that was the first time I met you.
Okay.
Dude, I remember you walking up the road in like, I don't even know what, a massive special blend jacket, open all the way down, 35 millimeter camera over your neck. I was like, who is this guy?
Fucking 14 or 15 years old.
Yeah,
or something like
exactly.
that. 15 probably.
Yeah. Bundy was like, yo, let's go to this rail today. I'm like, all right. Then I met you, met Scott. That was the first snowboard photo I took, actually, like a legit one. That was Scotty Steve's front board.
Oh, you have a photo of
I got a photo of that.
No
yeah.
way.
Yeah, I got to dig that up. I think I posted it like mad long ago.
Is that the rail that looked like it was going to break
Yeah,
at
that
every
thing was-
times, and it kind of like,
Down, flat, down,
Yeah.
down.
and there was like a bench in the landing?
Yeah, it was a bench you got to avoid.
What's it called? Raponda?
Raponda.
Oh, you
Raponda? What is that?
Granger claimed hardway front too on that thing.
Dude, no
That's
way.
the most outrageous claim
Wait,
I've ever
what's
heard on the
Raponda?
spot.
Is that a town
It's a,
name?
it's a
lake.
lake there, yeah. It's in VT somewhere, but yeah, I remember battling that thing.
That front board was iconic.
I think
though.
it was
Dude,
in It Ain't Easy.
that was-
Or no, Firefight.
It might have been in Think Tank even.
No, we're
might have
talking.
been
No, this was
pre-
before. This was
Okay, I'm making that up.
This was definitely 04, 05. But yeah, that was a long time. That front board was fun. I remember watching that. Like, who is this guy?
He was just like
Scott.
full blind staring
Steven
at Phil.
full blind. He
Stevens-
goes to fake.
Yeah.
He was possessed by the devil at that
Yeah.
point. He was like, he's probably the most motivated person I've ever seen in my life.
He was strapping in like 3 seconds every time at the top.
You want to get under his skin, be slow with the ratchets on the drop in, his blood will
Yeah,
be
you do.
boiling.
Yeah.
Jones, you ever find yourself tired, low on energy?
Yes, Chris, I do.
Well, let me tell you something. 75% of Americans are chronically dehydrated. And that goes up when you're in the mountains and you're at elevation. You're going to be even more dehydrated. So you know what the solution is, Jones?
Don't go to Colorado?
That's one. You could also drink Bubs Naturals Hydrate or Die. There's 2,000 milligrams of electrolytes. There's no added sugar, and there's no artificial flavors.
I love that.
Now, when I'm hydrated, I have more energy. I ride better. I can probably still grab my board. When I'm dehydrated, I can't.
No, my skin literally will crack if I try to grab my board unhydrated.
You look like a lizard that's been dead for 30 years.
And not the Lizard King.
Not the Lizard King that also got run over by a car. It's roadkill.
Yeah, salamander.
Exactly. So if you want to get some Bubs Naturals Hydrate or Die, use promo code BOMBHOLE for 20% off at checkout, and stay hydrated with Hydrate or Die. Jones?
I will. Thanks, Chris.
All right, let's talk about the Ikon Pass. Lock in the good times now with over 50 destinations worldwide. Join the Ikon Pass community of like-minded snowboarders by grabbing your pass before prices go up and savings end on April 18th. This is the last chance to claim spring's lowest prices, a savings of up to $200 on child passes, and a renewal discount of up to $100 on a 24-25 purchase. Bonus, for new pass holders, drop in on immediate buy now, ride now access at up to 16 destinations this spring. That's sweet spring dreams, sunshiny scenes, and you! From only $259 adult and as low as 0 down, 0% APR, grab your pass to good times now. Yeah. So I would love to talk about, because I feel like I was connected. I knew Ted, and then I would film with Ted, and then I met you through Ted, and you and Ted were making videos and stuff back in the day too, right?
Yeah.
Ted Borland.
Yeah, I remember, Ted and I went to the same high school out in Western Mass. And I think I put like a little message on the email. I was like, anyone want to hit this handrail on campus? And Ted and Aaron Borden
Oh my
were
God.
like, yeah, huge
Shout
air
out
horn.
Aaron Bordner.
Wait, you sent a email?
Yeah, I sent
out?
an email out.
To who?
The whole school. I said, who wants to hit the handrail on campus?
That really dates us, huh?
Yeah,
Holy
it's
shit.
fucking crazy. And Ted was like, hell yeah, dude, I'm down.
Bundy was the only response. I thought you never asked.
Yeah. He was like, yeah, dude, fuck, let's do it. So we set that up, didn't work.
Got kicked out.
Yeah, no, it was an immediate bust. But we started snowboarding. We'd go to Mount Snow. He had a car, so he'd like take me around. That's how we got to Raponda. We just started filming. Then after that, we just kept in touch. Like I'd go visit him in Utah. And I think that was Bundy Vision 1, 2, 3, that era. We just stayed close since. But that was awesome because like just that random occurrence, meeting him there, like led me to like kind of get in with him, snowboarding more, like someone who's like super like-minded on wanting to hit spots. And that's just kind of what I wanted to do at the time, you know.
Two goofy footers both claiming front board on the spot. That gets tricky.
Yeah, too tall
Both 6'7".
Yeah.
We got a guest question from none other than Ted Borland. Here we go.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Ted Borland here with a guest question for Ian Boll. Ian, many ages ago, this is like way before when like either of us had any connections in snowboarding, you were featured in an Apple commercial. And it was a clip of you on a rail that we hit together somewhere near Cape Cod. I'm just curious, how did that happen? And did you get a box from Apple in exchange? Talk to you guys soon.
No box.
Damn.
But yeah, they did hook it up though.
Cheddar
was
bisque?
Cheddar bisque, big. It was nice.
What are we talking?
Talking like 5 racks.
Damn, all right.
I think I was supposed to hook Bundy up with some of that. Bundy filmed the clip.
Oh, wow. The classic filmer doesn't get any buzz?
Yeah.
Send him that
I'm not
invoice,
sure
Ted.
what happened.
That's
Yeah.
a classic situation.
We're gonna have to circle.
I've been on
back
that side of things many a time.
Yeah. No, we're circling back on that. But yeah, that was a clip. I think
Is that long Cape Cod route?
super long.
Cohasset?
It was, yeah, Cohasset, Mass. It's kind of been, Dillinger got it back in the day, back lip.
yeah.
Ian Boll back one on.
Back one on.
Yeah,
Didn't
back
CSM
one.
have a couple of...
Dude, I think CSM
Shouts
did
to
have something
CSM.
crazy on it. I can't remember.
He did something wild.
Yeah, he did something wild.
Tommy nose press back one.
Tommy did.
You
yeah.
know Tommy got a piece of the South
Yeah.
Shore.
Dude, that rail was awesome.
He put a beat down on a couple
Dude,
of those
yeah.
spots.
Colton was taking around just laying waste.
Dude, what did CSM What did CSM do?
We
on
gotta
that
do-
thing?
I don't know. We got to figure that out.
It was in
I-
it was in the first keeper
Dude, I
change.
kind of feel like
He might have done like 50 front three or something. Or
no, my buddy John Hago 50 front 3'd it though. That was pretty
oh
sick.
no, CSM nose press.
He back nose pressed.
He
it.
nose pressed.
There
it.
we
That's
go.
the bottom of that.
That's
Now we
why
get to the bottom
that's
of
why
that.
we got Harry on here.
Because
he's gonna pull that up.
TPG did nose press back 80.
Yep.
Yes.
That makes
Yep.
checks out.
Yeah,
That checks
that
out.
was it.
Yep.
Yeah, Apple commercial. I don't know. I think what happened was TGR got hit up by Apple, and they needed a clip of a snowboarder wearing a helmet, and I was still rocking helmet back then. And so TGR didn't have anything, so they hit up Stepped, who was this like ski production company. Those are my good homies who I grew up with, and they were like, "Hey, you got a clip of you doing anything in a helmet?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah!" Here's this like kind of shitty tail press on Cohasset rail, and Apple was down, and it ended up getting used in this iPad commercial. I think it was like the iPad Love commercial.
Yeah, they were like editing footage of it on
Yeah,
the
like
iPad.
it was like a kid late at night editing footage, and what he's editing is my tail press down the rail. I remember my buddy was like, "Yo, I think I just saw a clip of you in a commercial on the Super Bowl." I was like, "You kidding me? They ran that? I didn't see it.
Did you already get the bisque at this point, or
Dude, I can't remember when the bisque.
So they're
came.
just
I think
running shit and you don't know if
honestly,
the
I think
bisque has hit the
I think the
account?
bisque was coming in pretty late on that one.
Classic
it might have been
net
why
30 situation.
Yeah, it might have been a
net
next.
60.
Might have been
Net-
60 or 90.
net 90,
Fucking
yeah.
Apple, man.
Yeah. I honestly, I remember they were dragging feet.
No free ads.
Yeah, they were dragging.
Yeah.
But
well, the
yeah,
real
that was
question
funny.
is, did you tap on the press? Was that thing lifted research group
Dude,
the
let me
whole
tell
way,
you a little.
or was it?
Let me tell you a little bit about that tail press.
I'd like to hear about that.
We're gonna be going back to Signal days on that. We were running reverse cam. That thing was sky high, and it wasn't
Was
my
it a
doing.
banana?
It was
Oh, no, that was
basically
Liptech.
yeah, it was basically like a banana. I mean, do
you remember
And
those
I can't
ones-
even tail press. That thing just laid up. It was easy.
Here's the deal with that board. When you're doing a 50-50, you're basically doing a nose press and a tail
And a
press
tail
at
press.
the same time.
I'll never forget
Yeah.
Nick Esposito running that thing at Loon
yeah.
Mountain. I almost fell over when I first saw it. I was
Dude,
like,
yeah, it
dude,
was
what the fuck
ridiculous.
is going on? Shouts to Espo.
Dude,
Yeah.
let me tell you something. Those signal boards, though, you go tail press, you're like Meek Mill and Philly 12 o'clock boys down the entire
Dude, I was
street.
feeling good the whole way down.
Yeah, self-esteem boost.
Feeling good, looking good.
Yeah.
You don't
I was
even have
not
to lean
looking
back.
good.
You just pick up your front foot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe even just your toes.
Yeah, just the toes. You literally just kind of tweak it a hair and it's fucking a foot up.
Is it just me or boards in that era were noodles? Am I correct with saying that?
I mean, I would like to think they were a way softer. Anything I was riding seemed pretty soft.
Yeah.
I mean, for sure.
Yeah.
You're good for about 2 days until
I mean,
the thing's
especially
just
you think
soggy.
back like the Rome artifact.
Oh,
that
yeah.
thing was about to bend. You could bend that 90 degrees without it snapping.
You're a Rome guy for a long time.
Yeah.
So you went Signal
Heavy-
and then you went over to Rome.
Signal. Yeah, I think then over to Rome.
The dark days.
No, those were the
Those are glory days.
Those are the glory days
His
of
best
Rome.
years were on a Rome.
Oh yeah, for
yeah.
sure. I mean, that was LMP. I mean, Jan Dauphin. Dude, that was like Rome was sick.
Will
then.
Levine.
Yeah, Will Levine.
No, weren't they all gone at that point?
Oh, not then.
No, we're talking glory hole.
Yeah.
Glory years.
Did I say glory hole? I meant years.
Yeah, I mean, that was so it was Rome for Rome for a bit. That was actually it. After Rome, that was it. It was kind of done.
You talked about how Apple needed somebody with a helmet, and it was at that time relatively unheard of to see somebody wearing a helmet in the streets. What was the logic behind that?
Dude, no good logic, really,
Good
just
parenting.
mentality.
He actually had logic.
Maybe there was logic. I think it was mental. I think maybe early on, like parents kind of being like, it's probably smart not to ruin your head for the rest of your life type of thing.
10 stare at the golf course.
This thing is really important. I got to get this without a helmet. It's like, no, fuck that. I like just wear a helmet. I don't know. It's not like it was helping me or anything. It was a lot of mental too. Like just we're talking protect helmet, with a beanie under. It was more like confidence than anything. And then I stopped riding with it and I was like, oh yeah, I didn't really need that at all. I mean, you talk about it a lot, but it's like, dude, I didn't hit my head one time in the streets the entire time I was hitting rails. Mountain though? Mountain's another dangerous on the mountain. Like you hit ice in the park or something.
Would you not wear it on the mountain or was it just streets?
At that point, no, I was just wearing it on everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
You got any brain cells left in there?
4 or 5.
Yeah, he's got a couple. Okay,
Yeah,
good.
I'd like to think
Not
so.
saved by the helmet though. Just
Helmet
kidding.
had nothing to do with it.
Helmet did not save me.
I like that. All right, I got to ask Ian, Bullpack. Am I the only person that calls you Bullpack?
No, there's a lot of people.
All right. So Bullpack, the question I have for you, it's not even a question. Let's just talk about a clip. Have you ever seen Ian's front board on the Mission Hill Kink?
You front boarded the Mission Hill Kink?
Yeah. Let me back that up because if those those who back in the day.
No, it was remember when KTC did the 5-trick mix? They didn't use it for the video, they just threw it in that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, this was
Was
maybe
like 2010 or
dude, it might have
Right
been
around there.
Yeah, 2010,
2010,
somewhere around that.
yeah.
Yeah, 2009 maybe.
Dude, first of all, the Mission Hill Kink, for those who are unfamiliar, very iconic kink in Boston. I've claimed front board from the couch, pulled up on the thing. It's no joke, dude.
You want to know the best thing ever to go down on that thing? Ojo half cab nose press.
True.
Hit the fucking air horn on that
and
one.
also, if we're speaking Jaeger Bailey backlip.
Yeah,
Jaeger
he did
Bailey
back
rest
lip
in
it,
peace.
yeah.
Will Levine back one.
Yep.
Huge.
Marty Vachon
There's
front board
also
nose press.
the triple kink right next to it.
Shouts
I
to
think
Shouts to Eugene Stancato. That's
he
pretty
hit
much
that
his little
thing.
playground.
I think Chris Engelsman had a clip on it too.
Yep, he did.
Back in the day.
Robot food.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that one we hit that in Thanksgiving with hockey rink snow one year. Yeah, it was crazy.
So
Completely unnecessary.
Walk us through the front board.
I think we were there. You know what's funny actually is I think you hit me up and you go, "Yo, this is Grendy's. You know where that rail is?" And I was like, "Actually, I'm going there in a little bit or something." I don't remember. It was just I think Skylar was there. It was Rav, maybe Dragata, a couple of the KTC homies. And I don't remember. I just remember thinking I can probably front board this. And I kind of got absolutely hosed a couple times, but
Smashed into like the barrel or the fence at the bottom
even
or
on
something.
the one I landed, I rode out, but I was a little bit to the outside and I couldn't compose myself, so I went over the ramp we made to clear the bleacher, and then I landed pretty much in the fence.
Was I there that day?
I don't know if
don't
you were
think I
there.
was.
No,
Who
I don't-
filmed it, Lars?
I think it was
filmed
Sky-
like Lars,
I think it might have been Lars. Dude, this is so long ago. I can't.
I know.
I can
I'm
barely
like,
even
this
remember.
is kind of freaking me out a little.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking 15 years ago or something.
Jesus Christ.
Which is fucking crazy.
Given the front boards that had been happening all across snowboarding collectively, this was an upper echelon front board.
100%.
I mean, honestly, it was I kind of did it bad. I didn't really like how
Well,
I
is
did.
that
I remember
why it
being
didn't get
kind of
used?
maybe. I remember being like that was kind of whack.
Yeah.
Because I just landed. I mean, you're kind of holding on that one. I remember landing a little bit crazy and being like, yeah, it was whatever. But yeah, the 5-trick mix. That was sick.
Damn.
Dude,
The
those were the
5-trick
best. I remember
mix,
waiting
dude.
for those to come out. But yeah, I think it was that 5-trick mix, and then maybe the next year went on maybe a KTC trip or something with those guys.
Yeah, let's talk about the Ian Boll biography of videos, because you did homie videos back in the day when you were younger, and some Bundy Vision stuff. And then when did what was the road before KTC? And then let's talk KTC.
Yeah, I mean, I had my snowboard crew, like my brother, my buddy Topher, his brother, a couple other homies, and we would make videos. I think it was probably 2001. We made a video. It was mostly kind of fucking around at resorts, but that's when we were like, oh, filming is fun, and throwing this together is fun. And it, from there, it was just whoever you could film with, kind of going out and trying to film. So let's see, it went from that, a couple other homie videos. My buddies, Nick and Alex Martini, those guys were making some ski movies. Like in 2003, I would film with them because they were down to get down on some rails. They also had a VX 2100, so I was like, let's pull that thing out and try to get some clips. And then, I met Ted, so I was filming Bunny Vision 1, 2, 3, going to Utah when I could on trips, filming that. From there, it was kind of like doing my own thing, filming with homies in Colorado and whatnot, whoever was down to film. And then I remember it was Mike Rav, and he was like, dude, what are you doing right now? I'm like, I'm on the East Coast, I'm chilling. And he's like, come to New York with us. We're going with, what was the van, Harry, they had? The
ham van.
The ham van. Yeah. They were running the ham van out to New York. Huge shout out. It was the whole crew. Johnny O'Connor, Rav, Golden.
Was it the ham van or the Eastern Border van?
Dude, it might have been the EV.
They had
van
an EV van at one point.
Yeah, this was early on, so it might have been either way. Whatever. Rav hit me up. He's like, come on out. Did that trip with them. I remember I got absolutely bodied, tried to front board another down, flat down.
It's a classic Ian Boll situation.
Dude, just straight, this is where the whole bass groove thing kind of got me. Like too many stair rides, couldn't quite get enough speed for the front board. When you hop up and you just don't even get close. Mm-hmm. Yeah, slipped out at the top of the rail, went straight to the flat on the stomach.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I was fucking bodied. So
crinkled.
Yeah, I think that was it. But yeah, it was, threw that footage together. I think I edited just a part or whatever, put it out. But it's kind of been trying to have at least something every year since I started snowboarding, just cause. And the next year, Rav, again, he hit me up because we were all back on the East Coast again. He was like, yo, do you have a drop-in ramp? And I was like, I do have a drop-in ramp, and I can let you use it. He's like, no, come link up with us. And then that's when we went to Worcester with Skylar Brent, obviously, Cole Martin, air horn to both of those guys. Rav, I think, Ian Hart or somebody else from that crew might have been there, but it was basically, that was the start of Roll Call. And I just kind of hung with them. We did this long Worcester trip, and it just, it was just kind of feeling really good. Rav was pushing himself, and him and I were hitting a bunch of the same spots. It was kind of cool to get to see him be like, dude, I think I can, hit this. That trip we did what's that Worcester down, flat down, Justin Fronius Cab 270.
Yeah, that's what I call the Cab 2 King.
That was the Cab 2 King.
On
yeah, that
you
was,
put a boardy on that.
Yeah, the little boardy. Yeah, Rav 50-50 did. It was sick because
Which
Rav and I were
fucked
getting
at the time.
Yeah,
it's big. It's a big
huge.
grill. Yeah,
Rav was getting down on shit. It was so it was just super fun. I had a blast. We were all kind of, as I said, we're just cruising.
Before we move on for that, we do have to talk about your ender.
Oh,
the King Rail in Worcester.
The King
The
Rail.
50 gap 50.
Oh, burn coat.
Burn coat.
That's the burn coat rail. Well, actually on that trip, Rav goes, I want to check this. I want to show you guys this rail, burn coat. We all go look at it. It's like, everyone's kind of like, whatever. And I'm just kind of sitting there staring at it. And I'm like, dude, I think you can gap into this thing, gap over, and hit the last down.
Because that thing's a puzzle.
It kind of is
It's
a puzzle.
weird
It's like,
as
what do
fuck.
you do? It's also got sleeves on it, so it's separated. And so shout out Johnny O'Connor, front lip hit. That was kind of gnarly. But anyway, I remember looking at it and being like, I kind of want to come back here. I kind of wanted to do it. And everyone's like, let's get the fuck out of here. So anyway, for about 2 weeks, I was kind of thinking about that. I'm like, I think it's doable. Whatever. We go back, kind of Hail Mary trip at the end of the season. And that's when we did the the up the stairs jam or whatever.
Backy?
Yeah.
Where you also got lobbled on the landed on ice on your side.
We got to talk about that one after.
Dude, I absolutely got fucked on that one. Like that was one of those like you're not thinking at all, and you don't put any snow anywhere.
Yeah.
And Rav, who'd never done a car tow, I remember going to the hardware store. I'm like, I'm just gonna get this 100-foot rope just in case we go back there. Tied it to the car. I'm like, Rav, you just punch it. He's never done one. He slams. I hold on way too long, and I just hit that thing like a fucking train. Just sail way past where I thought I was gonna go. I think I put like one shovel down. I went like 5 feet further.
As soon as I heard Rav's in the driver's seat, I know shit's going.
There's
gonna be problems.
Yeah, I absolutely bodied myself. I couldn't. Yeah, full wind.
Yeah, there was like just frost on the ground.
Yeah,
like,
it was.
There
was pretty
no
much
snow.
like
a hockey rink.
Yeah, it was frost.
Did you grape lady yourself where you couldn't catch your breath?
Dude, I could not. Yeah, I was just down and out. Couldn't talk, couldn't anything. You know. Just, yeah,
Nice.
but then I was like, well,
Shout out grape lady.
I gotta keep
Internet 1.0.
OG YouTube.
All right, keep going.
I don't know. I somehow just was like, I kind of want to keep hitting this, and then I was doing something whack like a pull jam back 180, and Skyler's like, this ain't it. And I was like, should I try to backflip? He's like, yes, definitely.
What I want to know is where did the fucking logic come from thinking that was a spot?
That's a good point, Harry. That's a great question.
You know what I mean? Like,
great question here.
What was going through everyone's heads to think like, okay,
They all thought it was
fly at this
stupid.
fucking thing. Like, imagine if you clipped one of the stairs with your nose going up. You'd be
Or
dead.
we
we wouldn't
gate,
be here right now.
Or
You
the
would
gate
literally
at the
have been
top.
dead. Or
Yeah,
the gate at the top.
I don't know. They all thought it was kind of stupid, and I was just like,
From someone who wasn't there and just watched it all.
Yeah.
I screamed at the top of my lungs when that clip came out. Probably still would.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. I figured with speed and a little bit of snow, the stairs would kind of ride, which they did.
What kind of car are we talking?
Tacoma.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yours. Yeah.
2011 Tacoma at the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it somehow worked. What I did is I put like, I don't know if you can see in the clip, but I put some snow as a little transition from the stairs to get to the metal gate. And that kind of helped like ease my fear of clipping the gate and just absolutely breaking board, front flipping or whatever. Then yeah, I don't know. Lars is like, dude, do a backflip. And I was like, all right, fuck, I'll try it. And landed on my like head a couple times and finally got it. Finally, I don't know how that worked.
Were you running the bucket for that clip, or were you no
Dude,
bucket?
I don't know. I might have
You
been.
may have not had the helmet on for that
He
one.
had a sneaky bucket.
No, I think
situation.
I did. I think I did go sneaky bucket for that one.
You wore it well.
Yeah.
Some people wear the helmets and just look ridiculous, and you definitely.
Yo, I tried to hide it. Put the hood over.
Yeah,
OG
true.
Jed Anderson
Yeah.
look.
But yeah, anyway, we did that. I remember being pretty maxed out after my back was. It's probably why my back still hurts, honestly.
So that's roll call, legendary video part.
Yeah.
And then that goes into homage. Is that the next part?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see homage. Well, the burn coat.
Burn coat rep. We didn't talk about the burn coat.
Burn coat was funny because I remember giving Mike Rav my camera. So Rav filmed that angle along with Rob Balding, which is awesome.
Shouts to Bobby Digital.
Gotta shout out Rob. Miss that dude. But yeah, we went there and, you know, again, it was, that was a battle. I remember that was like maybe 80 tries or something.
Damn.
Mostly because I didn't want to fall. I knew how bad that would have been on the inside. And so it always, it's like, I didn't feel like people had very much confidence either in that, like, this was going to work
In
out.
you?
So, well, just in maybe the spot,
whole
the whole
operation?
thing, you know, but Rav was down. He was down. He was blaring music, doing, you know, keeping it fun. It was sunny. You know, those late spring days, it's just sunny. It's nice out. Snow's a little soft.
Taco loves those days.
Dude, yeah. You should be lighting up a butt
He
out
hates
there.
when it's winter out.
Yeah,
he just
no.
likes spring.
Dude, straight up. I hate when it's winter too. But yeah, anyway, it was one of those like, you know, you think about like, okay, I want to go each try. You're like, I'm going to do a little bit more than the last. So it was like, all right, just hit the first ollie and hit the first down. Ollie over the rail first, then ollie, hit the first down. Ollie again, you know, whatever. Try to go through the kink. Do like 10 of those. All right, let's go off the kink. Do 10 more of those. You know, let's go off the kink and try to land on the next rail. Do like 10 more and just kind of like the second you fuck up one of them, you get knocked back like 3 or 4 tries, right? Because then your confidence goes back and you don't want to. So it's like, all right, how can I not fuck up so that I can keep this rolling so we can just do it? I just want to do it. Get out of here. Yeah, just one of them, it just worked. And we're like, that might have been it. Yeah, that one felt good. It was
You did
cool.
it
Like
perfect.
It was cool. Like thinking of, I think honestly, like I had left Worcester, gone back to Boston, and kind of just, it was in the back of my head a little bit, like thinking about it. And I really do think that visualization where you're kind of just running through it and you're like, dude, I know I can do this. It's just a matter of building the jump right, getting the speed right, being in the right mindset. But yeah, the visualization, you're kind of just lock in on it.
Well, that goes back to you knowing what you're doing while filming. And some people who can do every trick in the world in the park to put them on like the easiest spot in the streets, and they have no fucking clue. Like, this dude knew what the fuck he was doing, Like at that point, especially most of us at that time, like even though we were all the same age, I feel like you were just kind of like levels ahead of everyone, just as far, not necessarily skill, but just like intelligence in the streets. Like you had the drop in, for example. At that point, with our crew, a drop in must have been like, you might as well have like won the fucking lottery or something. Like we don't have a drop in. We don't even have a truck.
Yeah, I liked trying to build shit that would work.
Yeah,
like,
and you had the ladder one too, which was crazy.
That was fun. That was fun to design and build.
Yeah, see, yeah.
He knows what he's doing. I love that shit.
Yeah.
That's an interesting topic about street snowboarding. It's like, park snowboarding is just show up, do the best tricks that you can, have good style. Street snowboarding, like the trick is almost the last piece of the puzzle.
100%.
It's like, can you find the spot? Right. Do you have speed for the spot? Do you have the creative eye to find something that's not obvious? Do you know, can you film the spot well? Is it going to film well?
Are you going to set it up correctly?
Are you going to set it up correctly?
Yeah.
Do you have water to make sure the takeoff's hard so you're not all in on a pile of dust?
Yep.
Like there's so many.
Also, like what time of day are you going to go at? Where's the sun going to be? Is it going to be on the front or behind? I don't know. Trying to make spots or think about it. That part is kind of fun,
Would you say that roll call part is your favorite you've ever filmed?
My
favorite of yours I've ever watched.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it wasn't. There was like a part after that, and then I was fucked with my knee. So that one was it was just things kind of lined up that season.
The flight egg track.
Flight egg track was nice.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the fact that I had a part at all was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I didn't think I was gonna have a part until the summer when Skylar was like, "Dude, we're just trying to give you a part," because I wasn't bought into that, or Rome didn't kind of throw up money for that, and everyone else was bought in. So I was just thinking I was filming for me, I didn't know that I was going to go in. Yeah. So that was kind of cool.
And then let's talk about the next year, Homage.
Yeah, Homage was fun. That was just like I'm close with all these guys now. Like let's just have more fun with it. That was the best part, because especially like the year before, getting to meet Stax for the first time, get to meet Tommy for the first time, get to really chill with Colton. And it was just like, and then obviously Taco, everyone else. And it was just like, all right, let's do it again, but let's have more fun with it. Let's do it better. That was a super fun year too. And
that Kazakhstan trip.
Oh yeah, that was in the.
Geez.
Shit, that was in the middle of that year. I remember
with Larry. You went with Laurent,
dude. Went with Laurent. Yeah,
imagine fucking that.
Yeah, Ozzie Henning, Laurent, Theo Muse, Grady,
Theo Vaughn.
Did you say Muse or Vaughn?
Theo Vaughn. Yeah.
Sorry,
I'm not sure who.
Losing my mind.
We're derailing.
We're derailing. Yeah. Looked like an insane trip. Like half of your part is Kazakhstan footage, right?
Yeah. And Ozzy filmed a lot of that actually, because I brought a huge shout out. Yeah, Ozzie Henning. Legend. Yeah, because he was on that, and I gave him my camera. I was like, dude, just shoot whatever, And a lot of that ended up in that in the Homage part. But yeah, that was in the middle. I remember talking to like either Rob or Colton, being like, should I go on this trip? And they're like, dude, you can't not go. You got to go. And that ended up being one of the highlights of like getting to film. And I mean, getting to travel like that to someplace so unique and different.
Is that where you did the 50-50 backflip like at the end, your ender? Was that in Kazakhstan?
50 land Chuckabaki.
You did the creeper. Yeah. You did that weird creeper rail.
I did the long ass creeper there. That was fucking scary.
That was gnar.
That was super scary.
You came off early, you would have landed on the fence. It was like on a bridge. It was like a big tube creeper on the edge of a bridge.
It's like a water pipe next to a bigger water pipe.
Shit. Yeah, that was
super scary actually.
Yeah.
I fell and went inside of it on one, and then another one I came off early and hit the fence.
Wasn't there a clip of like Larry wrangling some like cows and shit?
Yeah,
too,
there was
like,
yeah. Yeah, it was wild there. Look how there's just cows walking around.
Right? To Kazakhstan?
Oh yeah, didn't Or
Maybe I did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you did.
yeah, I
I
have
think
been
you
there.
did.
Yeah, I have
He goes,
been there.
maybe I did.
Yep.
It's like
Yeah.
one of the wildest places of all
Yeah,
time.
it's like the thing I remember most. You're like, wait, what?
fucking Borat.
That's why I wear a helmet now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that trip was awesome. Like, I don't know.
The
Those
back
are- those
lip
are-
or the switch lip 270. But yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, those
Forgot
are the
that
trips
one.
I interrupted you. Sorry, keep going.
No, it was just it's cool to like. I look back on that. I'm like, those are what you feel lucky for sure. You know, and it's just super fun. Like, how do we figure out this city? How are we going to get around? And we didn't have a ton of planning or whatnot. And
Kind
Ozzy
of put a beat down on Kazakhstan.
that video came out kind of cool. Yeah. Ozzy broke his wrist too, like day one. And we're like, all right, how do we get to the hospital? Where is it? Are they gonna know what to do? They didn't. They just wrapped it up with an ace bandage. He kept riding. He rode the whole trip like that. And then Laurent was just awesome. You know, him and I slept on the couch together, and he wouldn't let me touch his trash pile, which was kind of coming into my zone. But he would just throw all his cans like right on the floor. And
Murdering
this thing,
beers.
Maybe some lettuce.
absolutely murdering beers.
He's just deleting cans.
Dude, the pile was like up to here.
Wait, why wouldn't he let you touch
Dude,
it?
I'm like, can we clean this up a little bit? And it just kind of, you know, like the airplane
Yeah.
seat thing where you don't want to get someone. It was like, dude, you're
I
like
get
in
it.
my.
We've been there.
Yeah, you know.
Remember the trash man?
Oh,
Yeah.
the head of lettuce, the black head of lettuce.
But like, yeah, I mean, he made that. That's the shit that makes that fun. You know, those little moments, and yeah, it was sunny too. I like when it's sunny out.
Yeah, it looked like a springish
Yeah,
trip.
it was springy. Yeah,
Yep.
charcuterie board and beers in the afternoon.
Any weird food when you were there?
Dude, lots horse and other stuff.
I think it was a horse.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I'm gonna hit another smelling salt. I think it's that time. I don't know if you guys are interested, but
Oh, I like.
Is that how you
did that?
Oh,
I'm kind of I'm kind
You
of
hit
out of
one?
these. Yeah, I mean, I'll hit one, but I don't got one.
yeah, you could do that. You could do the can smash. A lot of people do the people's elbow.
Really?
That's a good one. Yeah, you go elbow on.
I'm gonna try this can smash.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good.
Yeah, look at that.
technique.
It's
Yeah.
kind of nice.
Woo. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Silk, you need
All
one?
right.
You good?
No, we're good. We got one.
You got one?
Silk's chilling back there.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, might hit it.
Doolies?
Silk, nice.
So I would like to talk about, because I think after that was pretty much your last video part.
Yeah, I mean, the end of kind of eyes watering here a little. The end of homage year, we tried to go to New Brunswick, and we were going up there. Me, Cole Taco, and Ian Hart, and then Colton was driving with like Tommy and a couple other people. We were gonna do one last Hail Mary trip. I think it was like late April, so it was already dumb to start out with. Anyway, we get to the border, we cross. Colton, never hear from him. Car breaks down. He doesn't make it. And it wasn't that surprising. He bought like a $200 Zuzu Rodeo. It's kind of doomed from the start. But anyway, we're up there and we're like, should we just stay and check this out? Maybe scope a little spot, check it around, you know, whatever. And I ended up really fucking my knee up on that trip. And I just kind of like landed in the same bomb hole in the parking lot. It was 60 degrees. I kind of knew something was messed up, but yeah, we probably should have turned around with Colton. Anyway, that was kind of the start of, you know, the whole knee injury thing. And yeah, I knew it was fucked up. And I told Cole, I was like, Cole, my knee's kind of fucked up. Like, I don't know if I can drive. He's like, oh, you'll be fine, buddy. I'm like,
such an asshole.
yeah, dude. I'm like, God damn. I'm like, all right. So I drove 7 hours home with my driving knee. Like
You'll be
that.
fine, buddy.
Yeah, you'll be fine, buddy.
CSM or Taco?
No, Cole Martin. Yeah.
Oh, Cole. Yeah.
Yeah. Taco.
I almost
yeah,
forget
and
his last
he,
name.
him and Ian Hart just got a bottle and they just kind of were drinking vodka the whole way home. And I'm like, all right, I'll just drive. No problem.
My knee's not fucked or
It's
anything.
not, yeah. I could feel this little piece floating around and it kept locking up. And I'm like, this isn't good. But yeah, that next year was rendered useless. I got a surgery that summer to try to fix it. It just didn't work really. It's called a microfracture procedure. And yeah, it was just tried to film, render. And that's what I was saying. Like I knew, kind of had this feeling in my gut. I'm like, dude, I don't know if this is going to get better. And so the whole year was like, you know, working with Stark on filming. And I kind of like want to do something and I battle it because I was in pain. And then I'd have to take a week off. And so it's just annoying because I had all these things I want to do, but I just couldn't quite do it. Yeah, and I got a microfracture surgery to try to fix it before render. Didn't work. But what I did is it's like a basketball injury. You shear off like a quarter. Mine was about a quarter size cartilage off my femur, like on the weight bearing side of my femur. So I just sheared it off, no cartilage. Once that happens, there's just not much you can do, you know? Like ACL, you can repair, you can put a new one in. And with this one, I tried to do a bone graft. So I got a bone graft from a donor, this 19-year-old girl, and they put her knee like bone in mine, which was kind of freaky on its own. And that should have worked a little bit better, but for whatever reason, half of it didn't take and it kind of flapped off. And then it was just like, all right, I'm in for another surgery on this. And they took some bone with cartilage from underneath my kneecap and they put that in. But yeah, it kind of started this whole long process of just, you know, mad surgeries, swelling up, kind of in pain all the time. But yeah, rendered was like that's when it kind of dawned. I was like, you know, I was able to film a part, like I wasn't too hyped on it, but I was able to get it, you know, something or whatnot. Yeah, and it was tough, man. It was tough after that for sure. Like you've dealt with injuries, you know, like it's part of it, but I'd had a bunch of injuries, but I never had something that was like, oh yeah, every step hurts, you know, every squat hurts, everything kind of hurts. And yeah, that was a kind of a big wake up call. I think I tried to film some shit after that in 2016, that next year, but it was just like, you know, this probably isn't worth it.
Yeah, did you have like a bit of a come to Jesus moment where you're like, okay, what's next for me? Like, did you feel lost around that time? Was it I thought maybe that was some dark times for you?
Probably the darkest, yeah, that I've had. That there was like that 4 years probably before Torment kind of started really ramping up in like 2019, 2020. But there was 3 years where so much, my whole life to that point, you know, from 12 on had been like, dude, I want to snowboard. To then being like, well, I can't do that really anymore. And it was like, what do I do? Do I want to stay in snowboarding? Do I want to do something? Do I want to do something entirely new? You know, and then also like the unknowns, like, will this heal? Will I be able to snowboard a little bit like later on? Dude, it was tough. You know, I definitely was pretty depressed. I was definitely like questioning what is this? Like, what is life? What do I do? But it's even funny because that was starting Torment, right? But I was in such a headspace that I didn't have maybe the vision for that even yet. You know, I was still kind of trying to work through it. And yeah, I started seeing a therapist. That was really helpful. And just kind of talking about it and being like, all right, realistically, what are the options? And realistically, what do I still like to do? I'm like, I still like snowboarding. I fucking love shooting photos. I love filming. I still like doing all this stuff. So I was kind of doing that stuff, but without much of a purpose. And, you know, I kind of just made the call, like, let's go, like, you know, if I'm stagnant right now, I'm not going to help myself. But if I kind of just choose, you know, I don't know if it's the right decision, but I'm just going to choose to do it. And that was kind of to go all in with John on Torment. Like, I'm just going to choose to do this. And that's what I think is hard for some people. It's like there's too many options out there and you get held up with trying to figure out which way to go and what way to go. I was definitely there for like 3 years and I was weighing into it. And I kind of just was like, fuck it, let's do this. You know, let's choose to go this route. And I did. Yeah. And it kind of led to me feeling like I had a little bit more of a purpose, me being able to get out on more trips, me being able to go shoot more photos, to do all this stuff. And my takeaway just was, you know, you never know if something's right. You never know. But if you just kind of choose and take a shot and try it, then you'll at least know that maybe isn't it. And for me, luckily, like that worked out. And, you know, it's not perfect. Like, I'm still, you know, I still kind of wish maybe more free time, maybe some more traveling, more trips. Like, there's a lot of shit that I wish I could do. But it really, that pulled me back in, like took me out of my head, pulled me back in, gave a bit of a purpose. Let me stay in snowboarding, you know, which and I realized over those years, like, I still love this. I love this more than ever. I'm still looking for spots. So yeah, but fuck, it was tough for a bit.
I bet. Now, listening to what you just said there, the thing that kept coming up to me was the purpose thing.
Yeah.
I just read this Viktor Frankl book, Man's Search for Meaning. Have you ever read that? It's about a guy that survives the Holocaust, and he's a psychiatrist.
No,
But essentially what I got out of it, there's a lot to unpack in that, but like how much like finding a sense of purpose is like what you need to latch on to almost to survive. And it's like, sounds like from that period of, knee injuries and surgeries to finding Torment, there was like you're searching for purpose in your life, and like how beautiful is it that Torment helped fill that void?
Yeah, I was lucky, really. I felt lucky. Like I felt lucky that John wanted to do this. I felt lucky that he had the motivation and inspiration to start that. I felt lucky that he asked me and wanted to help, and it's just that changed everything, because now it's like, okay, every day, it's hard, but we know what we're doing. We're going after it. Still get to go out and film snowboard. So yeah, it changed. That changed everything. Like, it's funny how one little injury like that, like I just figured I would try to keep filming, jumping off shit, probably get more broke off. And so I think, it works out the way it should, because the way it worked out wasn't so bad. But I had to accept that first. That was tough. You got to accept that. And then you got to make a decision like, I want to do this. You can't just sit around. You have to actively be like, hey, I want to be happier. What's going to make me happier? How do I get there? It worked out.
Cool. I like that too. Another common theme amongst all the things you've been talking about too, you think about when you're younger, you grew up filming your friends, filming with your friends, filming each other, finding spots. Not like you had some coach telling you to do backside 900s on the jump. Like, you DIY'd your Suburban, you DIY'd your drop and ramp, you DIY'd your videos, and now you got a magazine and you're fucking DIYing that in a sense. And I'm not saying in the sense that it's like bad. I'm just saying that it's kind of a theme in a way.
You just learn how you go is how it seems to be. Like, everything is kind of process of elimination of like, oh shit, that didn't work, I'm gonna do this one. Like that kind of seems to be like.
It's funny you bring that up. I hadn't really thought about that. I guess it is like kind of figured out as you go. Not being scared maybe to take chances. Like, fuck, if this doesn't work out, it's not the end of the world. Or let's try to build this if it fails.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
That's a big one for everyone.
Yeah, I think. And also failing. Like, I failed a bunch.
Yeah, not being afraid
like
to fail,
ton.
which you're not. Yeah.
Like, so much shit just has not worked out or didn't work out or was wrong path. And I think you kind of learn from all of those as well. Dude, we fail at Torment all the time. We're like, oh shit, that didn't quite hit, or that didn't work, or whatever, this article or that could have done better. But yeah, I mean, dude, so much of it is just figuring it out as we go. Like I said, we don't exactly know what we're doing. We're just like, you say it a lot, but like, throw shit at a wall, see what sticks. And John and I will just chat and have these super roundabout, very indirect discussions that are kind of all over the place. But some of those come up with ideas. We're like, oh, that could be a cool collab for this or whatever. That's the idea we want to go with. And so, just kind of being open to the possibilities, I guess, a little bit, and not being afraid to fail.
I love that. That's great stuff. Now, going back to the knee injuries, how many surgeries you had?
I had 7 on my right knee.
Jesus Christ.
Insane. Now, this is a good topic.
And also, just before you get in there, but there's a couple of, like, Cole Navin just did that similar surgery, and I think he took a better route. And I was talking to him a bunch, like, dude, you could do this, do that. And I think his healing and progression's going to be better. And I feel like that's also something that is nice. Like, I like to be able to, all right, can I talk about what I went through to see if it'll help you go through it? Because I don't want anyone to go through this again.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, a common topic that comes up from our listeners, they're always wondering, man, I just got my first shoulder surgery, knee surgery, etc. Like, any pointers, any advice? I think a lot of people get hurt and they're looking. There's no roadmap to navigating a gnarly injury, and you've been through it. Do you have anything that helped you get through that?
Yeah, I think a few things. At first, you definitely you hate everything. Fuck this, and there's probably that denial, that anger, all that stuff. Quicker you can get over that helps. And and then finding whatever you still can do. Because it's like, you can still do a lot. You can, if you want to learn something, it's a great time, you read a book, whatever, all this stuff, like all the basic stuff. I think the biggest thing is just knowing that you're going to heal. It's the knowing 100% that you're going to make a full comeback. And I think that mindset goes way further than people think. Like, I really do believe in kind of willing stuff into existence and having that positive thinking. I think your thoughts really act with your, interact with your physiology and stuff. Another thing that I was thinking of, I've been trying to meditate a little bit, been skipping mad days, but
skipping mad days.
I'm I was sitting there thinking, I'm like, all right, and I'm still dealing with this knee. This thing bugs me all the time. My back, I got 2 herniated discs and 20 broken bones, whatever, hurting a lot. So I'm sitting there and I'm trying to meditate, and I was kind of feeling my heartbeat, and that really helped me, connecting yourself to your body as you're just sitting thinking. You don't need to meditate, but whatever, just feeling your heartbeat. And I was like, dude, your body never turns off. I was like, this thing is on all the time, which is so obvious, but
it's kind of fucked.
The way that I thought about it, I was like, if it's on, it's healing. And I was like, my body is working for me 100% of every day, every year, trying to heal me. And that was just a little bit of a, encouraging thought where it's working for me. I should be working for it. So what can I do to help it? I think that's your mentality. I think that's positive thinking, knowing that it will heal, saying, what are those things you're supposed to say?
Positive affirmations.
Thank you. Positive affirmations.
Been waiting for that one.
Yeah. That was a layup for Chris.
Yeah. Finally.
I spent a lot of time in the self-help space. I got a lot of that jargon down.
Did someone say positive affirmations?
That's exactly it. Yeah, that I don't know. They do help though. I think they really help. I think there's so much more to there's another thing. I had 2 broken wrists at the same time. I fell,
dude,
putting one out, and I already had broken one.
No.
And so
J.O. and classic.
I had these
Forget
2.
J.O. How we wiping?
Dude, it was kind of a mess, honestly. Just the situation wasn't fun.
Lifeline.
Yeah, couldn't even make food. Couldn't do shit. But yeah, I had 2 broken wrists, and one of them I had broken around a bone I already broke. It had a pin in it, and the doctor's like, dude, you can get surgery again around that pin, or you can just cast it for 7 months. And I was like, all right, take the cast for sure. And I just visualized kind of what that healing might have looked like. I didn't do this, dude, I really wasn't that good at it. I said to sit on the couch for 10 minutes, but every couple of days really thinking about what these cells are doing on that level. And I just picture a scaffolding being built in between these 2 broken bones and kind of bridging the gap. And I just tried to do that as often as I could. And she was healed in 3 months. I was like, I don't know, maybe there's something there. Can't say for sure, but the fact that it healed quicker than it should have. So who knows? That stuff might work. Yeah.
Absolutely. Brian Fox had a similar story about healing his back.
Okay. Yeah.
I saw him share about on Instagram, and then, but yeah, I love that. Whatever. Hey, if it's fucking working, share it. If it got healed you faster, share it.
Yeah, exactly.
And Joe Dispenza, who I don't know if you know, but he's got a slew of information about healing kind of with your mind.
Yeah.
Because he did that. He healed his back.
Yeah.
In some ways. But
and it's also
Joe Dispenza.
Yeah.
He's a doctor.
Oh, you don't know Joe Dispenza?
Yeah, well, he's not a snowboarder. He's just it's like if you're in the meditation kind of crunchy world, he has a lot of meditations, a lot of books, a lot of things in that space of healing your body with your mind. You might sound like you're listening to Mugatu from Zoolander is meditation. If you can, once you get over that, really,
are you getting
stuff.
put to sleep or
no? I like it. I get
you're
excited.
into it. Yeah. I'd probably be into it. Yeah, there's a couple books I read that are interesting on that level. This one is The Biology of Belief.
Yep, I've read that. Great fucking book.
It's a fucking quick. It's a quick one too. Yep. You can kind of blaze through it.
How many pages we talking?
I think it's 150 maybe. But it's big text. I like when you can.
Yeah.
You're turning pages, just flying through pages. But yeah, that was cool because it's everything you're thinking has an effect on your physiology and all your cells. Mm-hmm. And then also just this idea of info energy where there's information in all your cells. And so part of what your thoughts and feeling is like, it's in this electrical field within your cells. I was kind of a little bit of comfort in that. I don't know. We don't know. We really don't know. And so why not think that maybe that works?
And it's also explained in a very like analytical minded way that's with logic. It's not crunchy, feely. It's kind of more factual for people looking for that.
Yeah. And there's lots of like anecdotal evidence too, people with terminal cancer. It's like, dude, you should have not lived. But yet without treatment, you somehow cured yourself. It's like, I don't know. How do you explain that? I don't know.
Yeah. If you believe you can't or you believe you can, both are probably correct.
There you go.
It's kind of that concept boiled down on a simple level. I love that. Great knowledge on that stuff. I was kind of thinking about your career here, and you go through these knee injuries, you're shooting photos, and it seems like the LeWiff cover that you got, was that your first major, was that your first cover of a magazine?
That's my only cover.
That's your only cover. Okay. And did that kind of really solidify the fact that you're great at your craft? Like, what did that do for your career?
I didn't think much of it, honestly.
I did.
We all did. We loved it.
I got that. It was that was a film photo. I got it back and I was like, kind of the best photo wasn't Digi as this film one. I liked the photo. I was hyped on the photo for sure. Because I remember that was Melodrama year and the LeWiff tagged along. So I was helping John film. So I was shooting 16 cuts. I was trying to shoot a photo like in between tries, or, you kind of roll the dice and like hope he doesn't land this one and then shoot a photo type of deal. But yeah, I remember sending that into Snowboarder Mag and Yosh calling me. And Yosh was like, yo, we're thinking about this like as a cover. And then I was kind of tripping on that because I barely even had many photos ran by that point. And I think he told me, he's like, nah, dude, it's too grainy. It's not going to fly because it was film.
Whoops.
Yeah. I mean, that's all right because Colin Wiseman called me, Snowboarders Journal, and ended up, he's like, oh, it doesn't really fit with the aspect ratio, but we'll make it work. Somehow they made it work. And I didn't know. Yeah, then you remember, you just see it and you're like, oh, shit, all right. I was hyped on it for sure. But it didn't give me necessarily much more confidence. I think I just kind of ran with it and was like, all right, well, that one worked. What other ones might work? Like, what else can we shoot? I just love shooting photos. So I've been, shooting photos since I was like 14 of everything, life and snowboarding. And so I just wanted to shoot more, really.
Where did all that come from? Because I feel like ever since I've known you, you've been kind of like a Swiss Army knife in the media department. Maybe. Do you remember when you got your first? I mean, it was probably when you were filming your brothers or something, but like borrowing your parents' camera? Or?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of filming, in terms of photos, I took a photo class like mad young in 5th grade probably. Yeah. I remember this is sick, like full darkroom.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, I like this a lot. And so I was shooting film photos. I think I got a film camera in like 2003, probably 2002. Yeah, shooting photos in high school, and then I got my first camera in like 2003, and I just started shooting film like crazy on that thing. But yeah, my dad had this little kind of shitty Sony Handycam, and he was always filming us because he thought it was funny. We were
he's got 3 boys that are all dipshits, like, or keep the camera on them.
Dude, we have a clip of my brother Cam launching off a hit at Snowbird. We went out there in the spring, and me and my brother hit it, and Cam's like maybe 8 at the time. He comes in full speed and just does like a 20-foot straight to his back. So my dad always had the camera out. I would always shoot. And then I got hurt. I dislocated my shoulder. Yeah, this was kind of it. I dislocated my shoulder, so I couldn't do anything. And we wanted to make a Jackass movie, me and my brothers.
Like you and everyone else at that point.
Yeah, I mean, it was like, what else are you going to do?
Just jump off.
Let's start jumping off.
Run into a bush.
Let's build the biggest leaf pile we can and jump off the 20-foot
I think I've
roof.
seen these vids of yours.
Yeah, they were on YouTube before they got, I think they got pulled down.
Yeah, I saw them at the old house.
Yeah.
What were they called?
Doofus.
Doofus.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was, but yeah, I started filming them and then started editing like at the same time, 2002, I think that was, something like that. So I'd always liked it. I think I get a little bit bored doing just one thing. Like if I'm just shooting photos, in my head I'm kind of like, it'd be maybe more fun to switch it up and film, and then vice versa.
It's interesting because I feel like ever since I've met you, it's never just been one direction. It's always just been like, well, I do a little bit of this, I do a little bit of this, I do, like you've always kind of had like the whole big picture thing going on, which is cool.
Yeah,
as far as like
it's funny because
I film, I snowboard, I do this, I do that.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it's funny because if I just stuck to one thing, I'd probably, be better at it. But I don't. It's like,
what's the fun?
I don't care about that. I just, I want to. I don't know. I want to document it all. Like this thing in life is just special. I'm like, how can I kind of hold on to it a little bit in a bunch of different ways? And that
you think it's because of your brothers? Like you always had people to point shit at?
I mean, dude, that
Great
must have
subjects.
been.
Great subjects.
Because I feel like me as an
and they
only
were also
child,
good. They were
shit.
like my brother Alex always like shooting portraits of him. But yeah, that might be it, dude. Like and having friends that were close and but just always wanted to hold on a little bit. Like I'm always worried that I won't remember some stuff, or sometimes like if I'm like down or like bummed or whatnot, sometimes I'll go back through my photos and I'll just look at like all the cool stuff that we did, like all the good times we had.
Yeah.
And that really helps. I remember reading a book, I forget what it was, but it was talking about how the guy towards the end of his life, his last few days, last months or whatever, he started just archiving his photographs. And it was just for him to kind of relive like what he had gone through. I don't know. I just think that we're not going to remember shit. All our hard drives are probably going to crash.
Facts.
I mean, and so that's another reason I always wanted to shoot film, because that negative is going to last 100 years probably. And I don't know what I'll be doing. I don't know how long I'll be here, but I would like to just kind of document at least a little bit of what happened. And that might be there for someone, it might not, but that was definitely like a part of it.
I got a topic. You got a love for film, whether it's 16 mil or shooting, I don't know, 35 millimeter photos.
Yeah.
Sell me on film. Where does the love for film come from?
Here we go.
Yeah. Sell me on film.
Buckle up.
Digital is just boring. It's just boring to me. It's also like a fear of losing it. I really do feel like a lot of digital stuff I will lose personally. Misplaced hard drive, forget to back something up, whatever. I always like the physical aspect of film. I don't know. It's so cheesy. Like all this conversation's cheesy. You know what I mean? You get into this, but it just feels right. It feels like you're doing something. It feels real in a way. You can physically hear the sound of the film going through the gate. If you fuck up loading it, you're going to lose everything. And it also restricts you, I think, a little bit. And this, like a limitation, I think, can always breed some sort of creativity. So you only have 36 rolls, only 36 photos in a roll. And so you really got to think about, all right, what is that going to do? But even with like a Super 8 roll, you only have 2.5 minutes. And so how can you pick and choose these moments that are going to make like a little mini movie within this, like almost like editing in camera? And I think that just gives you a little more intention as you're shooting, and a little bit more, like it inspires me. I get inspired by that limitation. So I like that, but yeah, I don't know, all the other cheesy stuff people said.
It's fun.
It's not cheesy. I'm fascinated.
Well, it's funny because I feel like there's no matter how you answer that question, it always sounds cheesy, even though I agree with everything you said. Yeah. It's like, oh, what's the difference between film and digital?
Yeah,
and
no,
like, I don't know, it feels
really
cool, but like it really does.
And because you've shot, it's fun. It's like it's a little bit more, like if you fuck up a little bit more.
Imperfections.
That being said, though, like
flavor.
it seems like everyone nowadays feels the need that they have to shoot on film, and it's so oversaturated that like I get stoked seeing digital shit. Like someone who doesn't feel like they have to go down that rabbit hole of film just because everyone else is.
For sure. I mean, that's kind of why like this year I wanted to shoot like with my HMC, which is like the HVX
Digi's the new film, baby.
But also like I'm not gonna not shoot 16 just because I think other people think it's played out.
Yeah,
because to me, it's not really about this like whatever we're doing now. It's about like where's this gonna sit in 10 years, 20 years, and so I'm still gonna want reels of film that I know are there, that are in existence. So like I don't really give a shit what.
Do you save all the film?
Dude, I save everything.
Even 16?
Everything.
Jesus
I have
Christ.
Probably.
Yeah, I just threw away like 10 or 20 rolls of Super 8 moving. Like, I'm never going to do anything with this.
I mean, that's the whole reason I shoot it. I'm saving that, till I die. Like, I have boxes and boxes and boxes of 35 millimeter negatives from, the last 20 years. It's like, that's half the reason right there. It's going to be a pain in the ass for someone to go through.
Yeah, that sounds nightmarish.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk mixed mediums with the video. Like, where are we at with videos? I know we're talking like a lot of trends of 16 millimeter. I feel like Landline was a very marquee film, and I see a lot of things that are, following the footsteps of Landline. But then I like the Vans video. You guys did some there was like the handy cam aspect, which was a totally different look with the fisheye and stuff. Where are we at with mixed mediums with videos? How are you feeling about the current state?
I feel good about it. I think more mediums, almost the better. Like, I think there's certain videos and certain stuff that you should just do one medium for. I don't really think snowboarding is one of those. I think more the better. As long as it doesn't just look completely, fucked, like this doesn't fit at all. But the thing that's kind of beneficial is like 16, you're probably not shooting sounds. You're going to miss those moments. Handy cam, it's pulled out of your pocket. You're going to get these little in-between moments. And that's what we care about. We want no video is complete without some of this lifestyle shit, and you're going to get that even with your iPhone. Like, now you can film an iPhone clip. I mean, we did it with Brown last year just because no one was ready, and that'll play. But I do think that it's kind of nice having a little bit of both. I don't know. Harry, I'm curious to hear your take on this one.
Can we repeat the question?
I mean, how do you feel about mixed mediums? Where are you at with like the mediums and what we're using to make snowboard videos these days in the formula?
I mean, I love it. I think over the last 10 or so years, though, we've been stuck of like, I just need to look like everyone else.
Yeah.
And I've been involved in that too. I'm not just pointing the fingers at everyone else, but I think, I don't know. I think we need more individuality, but also, how do you even do that? Like, it's hard to stand out. I mean, you want to know what stands out is Life is Plastic. Like, we're talking about mixed media. Like, that was a sick one. I don't know. I just like when shit looks different. And now
they had
a
plan, and they pulled through on that conception.
Yeah, for
their
sure.
conceptual idea, and
I mean,
they
shooting on
pulled
a
through.
Barbie cam, like,
dude. Right?
It's fucking
It's
sick.
fucking awesome. Something different.
And it goes to show you, like, I don't know. I just hear about all these people like trying to take out loans to buy a 16 or whatever, or like something that's just like not fucking necessary, really. Like, I look at it now, if I didn't already own mine, I wouldn't even fucking think twice about buying one. Just because I'm kind of sick of seeing it. That's my opinion, personally.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I don't enjoy shooting it, because it's awesome.
Do you still want your 16 back?
Yeah, I sold him my old one.
He's been regretting that.
That
one
keeps
for a
me up
while.
at night every once in a while.
Yeah. Give me a good deal, too.
No, I don't know. I think it's refreshing when I see a video of like younger kids and there's not one film shot in the whole thing. Because to me, that screams they don't give a shit. They're just going to do what they want to do with what they got.
Well, it's also a
and let's
luxury.
fucking roll.
It's a luxury to shoot film.
It's also
what does it cost to shoot a roll?
I mean, I don't think we even want to go there.
No,
I don't know the
it's
answer.
Too
That's why I'm asking.
It's too expensive. I don't even want to talk about it. It's fucking super expensive though, and that's just out of question for 90% of these crews, especially younger kids coming up. It's like, dude, work with what you got. Whatever you have, it's gonna work. It doesn't matter. You're gonna be just fine.
Like, if you have the cam
just
and the
run
budge,
it. If you
shoot
have.
it.
All it takes is a novel idea. All it takes is something different. Like we were just talking about, it's those movies that like think about it a little bit differently. And that's what you need. You don't need the medium. Doesn't matter. It's the concept that really is gonna like come through.
I think that's where my issue resides. Is not necessarily everything looking the same. It's more of someone thinking the only way I can get noticed is if I do this by looking the same.
Yeah.
Getting a 16, whatever, buying a Bolex, Ari, whatever you want to do. And it's like, honestly, you might stand out more if you just did whatever the fuck you want. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's a fucking slippery slope. We could talk about this for like 10
fun.
hours. No, it's great. Yeah, but
It's not even a slippery slope. It's a great topic.
well, a slippery slope meaning like we could fucking go on forever.
Yeah.
And there's really no end to the topic.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's the beautiful thing about it too. Is there are so many different avenues. Like, I mean, I bring this one up, but you look at like Susie Greenberg, like Scott's movie. It is filmed as this clip is filmed as shitty as humanly possible.
Yeah.
But it's about the clip. It's not
Yeah.
about the medium on which it's filmed. It's about, is this clip entertaining? And then you have like Gimbal God, who's taking like this thing that's really polished and like color grading it, and like it's almost a art piece on like the red department. And then you have Brown, and that's a totally different feel. And there's 16, there's some Digi, and there's some Good Lifeys, Fat Gabe, and then Vans just went out on a limb with the new kind of like Handycam fisheye blend, and I don't know. I think it's cool just to and then Life is Plastic, and it's not about everybody doing one thing. It's about just finding their lane.
Yeah, and
Everybody
I think
finding
it's
their own
getting
lane.
better now. I think 10 years ago it was very much like, if I want to be a snowboard filmer, I need X, Y, and Z.
Yep.
I need to do it this way, and that's the only formula. Whereas now I feel like it's a little different.
No, it's cool. That's how it should be.
Yeah.
A little bit looser.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, prove yourself in any way that you can. And like I was saying, it's a limitation if you don't have the right cameras. But like, what can you do with that? And how can you make it look cool and different?
But on the flip side too, like you think about skating, and like once the VX came out with the MK, what is the MK2? The fish?
MK1.
MK1.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I want that. Like, it looks the
yeah,
coolest.
I mean,
I
that's a
fucking
good
want
point.
that.
There's kind of like a certain amount of, you kind of do, you did kind of need that at the time.
For sure.
you
So
know?
there is a degree of
And
like,
so,
I
but-
do need this.
But I don't feel like we have that as much right now. Like we're
100%.
seeing all these videos come out that don't. Yeah.
I also could flip this conversation on its head and say, when I was living with you and Tanner for Landline, and those 16 roll transfers would come back, and the level of excitement of getting that roll
it's
back,
bad.
and then like crowding around the computer and just wondering even if you got a shot.
You're either on cloud 9 or Suey watch. There's really no in between. We've all been
straight
there.
bombed.
I got some back
Oh, yeah.
recently that I was watching at like 11 p.m. before I went to bed, and I was just like, "Oh my god, something is fucked."
Yeah, you get it
Something
back.
went terribly wrong.
You got to go watch it in private. Make sure you didn't botch the whole roll.
Well, that's another thing too. You get some film back, and everyone crowds.
Everyone's
around,
watching,
you're
and
like,
then
"Jesus
they're like,
Christ."
dude, what happened to my back one?
Yeah.
You didn't film it, did you?
You're eating a bag of chips in Tanner's ear.
Oh yeah,
that's just a
He's not gonna like that.
No,
actually meltdown situation. All right, we got a Patreon. We got some Patreon questions. We haven't hit any. Hit that third one maybe that I starred.
We got a question from Cody Booth. You used to have a motto of do it or don't. What's a current Ianism or motto? And a haircut via machete? Do it or don't.
It's an interesting one. Do it or don't. I kind of forgot about that. I mean, don't overthink it, and just kind of like, once you pick it, just do it. I think that kind of goes back to, a lot of, you're not going to know the answer. You're not going to know the right outcome. You're not going to know. It's going to be a bunch of unknown, but just do it. Just try it. Yeah, do it or don't. Forgot. I like that one.
That's good. I also hear like don't half step it.
Yeah.
Either just do it or don't, but don't fucking halfway commit.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's when you get hurt. Or that's when you fuck up, or that's when you end up in this middle in between.
Kind of like Mob
Yeah, I
Deep.
think
No,
think
ain't
that
no
was-
such thing as halfway crooks.
Oh,
kind of
yeah?
thing? You don't want to
Okay.
do halfway crooks. You
Yeah,
want to
that's
do
gonna
full
be
crooks.
You're not going to want to do that.
Yep. Sorry to interrupt you. I thought that was important.
No, that's
but,
good. No.
extremely
I
important.
thought that was really
Yeah.
important information. Continue.
MOBB.
Yeah. No, that's kind of it. Just
about a
don't half step it.
Machete too. What was the machete?
Yeah, I was getting a haircut, and he was going to give me a haircut with a machete. So it was kind of like, don't fuck that up. Just do it right.
Do it or don't.
Yeah, do it or don't. Worked out.
So you did it.
Yeah, it didn't hit me.
Okay, like it. What about the first Patreon we got?
Yeah, this question's from Lance Hacker. In the past, there were so few opportunities to see new content that each video, each part, and even each clip held more weight. That even meant that there were less pro snowboarders to be fans of. Do you see a pathway of opportunity now or in the future for content that holds the weight of the past?
I think even with, I do think there's a lot more going on right now. And I think that's partly because this accessibility, it's easier to film. I mean, we've seen it on Torment, right? Where, I think we put up John knows these numbers better, but like 70 videos or something. And that just goes to show that all these crews are doing it. Where there was more of a singular focus on certain like lenses, whether it was the magazines or the movies back in the day. I think it goes both ways, because today, if I think it's more open where anyone can actually make a stand. Anyone can put out a part that's gonna like change the tune a little bit. But you're also sitting there with a bunch of other people and a lot more people trying to do the same thing. But I do think there's more opportunity, to just kind of do it on your own. And you got to do it a little bit on your own these days, which I do think makes it a little bit harder. It's kind of a tough one to get into, honestly. But yeah, I think there's still opportunity out there. And like Lance was saying, back in the day, you really did have, you had a couple magazines and you had a couple production companies. Now you have like 30 crews. The fact that there might be a crew closer to where you're living that you could link up with, because again, it's all about who you know and how you get in and who might let you in, who might let you come hang and start filming. Yeah, I think there's more opportunity on that front for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's an interesting juxtaposition thinking about it too, because let's just say back in the day, you had maybe 10 videos. Let's just say 10 major videos that made it to the snowboard shop. And if you were one of those 8 riders in that 10 videos, you were the guy or the girl. You were the ones with the contract. It was easy. There was separation. It was delineated. So that's 80 riders that are in these marquee videos. Now you take 80 videos and you got 10 riders in there. Then you have 800 riders that are all coming up. So it's like, how do you make yourself be like rise above, the noise of 800 riders trying to film video parts? So it's like one aspect, like you said, it's easier to get your foot in the door. And the other aspect is it's harder to stand out because there's so much footage. So you got to do a lot to stand out.
You got to do a lot to stand out. I mean, I think these days it does help. Like the people who can do both street and backcountry, I noticed that a little bit. There's, 30 street crews. That's a lot to try to single someone out with, a couple of people have done awesome, like Quinn, like see his shit and you're like, damn, that stands out to me. But yeah, it's, it's with less avenues. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, it's tough these days for sure. Because there's less money. You can't pay 800 people. Back in the day, there's more budget for sure, early 2000s, but there's also less riders. And so, you like to think back and kind of, kind of think nostalgically about that, but there was less riders. So of course they're getting paid more. Yeah, there's more money, but yeah, it's hard today. There's a lot of people.
Yeah. Interesting. So I was hanging out with a friend that works, we'll just say high up in a marketing department. I don't want to share his name because I don't know if this information's all factually correct, but what I had heard that I thought was really interesting about snowboarding and the state of it was that in its prime, we sold, I think it was like in that early 2000s, we were selling 1 million snowboards a year. And then now we're in that 600,000-700,000 snowboards a year. So the snowboard sales have been cut by about 30% over the past 20 years, but I think they're on the rise from what I hear. I don't know. But I guess back then, the companies would spend on average around 12 to 13% on marketing budget. And now with the growth of Instagram and kind of being able to market yourself for free, where you don't need to pay for an advertisement in a magazine, you can just hire a social media guy, or you can just post all your stuff yourself, that the brands are sending like closer to 5% on marketing budget. So I think that, like the glory days, everybody talks about the glory days of, the early 2000s with these huge marketing budgets. And it seems like the companies, the way it was explained to me, are cutting back on budget. So now you have more riders fighting for a smaller piece of the pie.
Yeah. Well, and more riders promoting themselves as well.
True.
Through it. But yeah, I mean, I heard the same thing, like down, somewhere around 10% of marketing budget going to 3-4 something, 5%. And then you factor in that marketing budget is just based on revenue, like your sales. So if you're not selling very much, then that number is just inherently going to be even smaller. So then you have even less money, coming in there. And, then if brands have a bad year or whatnot, like COVID was crushing, like in a good way. Everyone was crushing with selling boards because everyone wanted to get outside, and then the way it was kind of explained to me was, everyone bought everyone bought their shit. So, revenue dropped a little bit, 2021, 2022, even 23. So those marketing budgets were down even more then. It just adds another piece where, where's the money going to come from to support this many riders? I don't know the answer.
Well, it goes back to I think the thing that you said earlier, that's kind of the beauty, one of the things that is a pain in the ass, but it's also a beautiful thing about snowboarding, is it kind of weans out it weans, if you have dollar signs in your eyes, you got to do it.
You're probably going to run away from
gotta,
snowboarding.
Yeah, you got to do it because you love it.
Yeah.
And so you find people that, work to ride, live to ride, build their life around riding, not build their life on a pro career, which is unfortunate, and it's expensive, and mountain towns are expensive, and all that stuff's a pain in the ass. But if you truly love it, you find a way.
Yeah, I mean, used to get both a little bit more. Now it's, the people who maybe shouldn't be here aren't.
Yeah.
And that's kind of awesome. Because, you're working with these brands, these people really care. They care a lot about snowboarding. They care about the benefiting snowboarding. They care about making snowboarding better. So the decision-making from the top is rooted in, I think, a stronger set of values. And hopefully we're going to go through this, like everything goes through cycles. Hopefully we're kind of going through this cycle now where those good decisions and those things are being made to put better pieces in place for the future. And maybe it kind of comes back around where things start flowing a little bit better and we're actually, snowboarding's in a more direct place. We're directed in the right path that we should be going. And that would be my hope, I guess.
Absolutely. And another thing to think about too, going back, you think about Nike when they came in, their marketing budget was in the millions.
Right.
And it's if you can secure that bag while they're here, the companies that come in and they're like, we're gonna crush, we're gonna kill it in snowboarding, we're gonna dump all this money into it, and you're like, well, this probably isn't gonna come back to them, but fucking let's secure the satchel while we can.
Whatever you want to think, go for it.
But Godspeed, respect to anybody that can secure the bag while the bag's around.
You have to. The bag's here, you got to secure it because it's going to be gone. Mm-hmm. Everything's going to kind of go up and down. And if you got an opportunity, you got to take it.
Take the money and run.
I get it. I understand holding to your core values, if you really, and if that's you, do it. But if you got an opportunity and someone's coming in to try to help you out, I'd say take it and make the best of it and make it as cool as you can and do what you can with it because you don't know how long it's going to last.
Great point. Silk, you know what you think it's time for?
I think it might be time for Name That Video Part.
Good luck.
All right, how's your confidence, 0 through 10, Ian?
It's not good. I'll tell you that. Not my strong suit. I'm going to give it somewhere around a 2. I'm going to give it 2.5.
Okay. I heard you were brushing up on videos for Name That Video Part last night?
Yeah, well, I tried to at least know rendered useless and keep the change because it'd be kind of embarrassing if it was one of those and I didn't know it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say because it's people tell me they do that and I'm just like, what are you going to watch 700
videos?
1,000 videos? You're just...
No, it's just, you kind of want to if it's a video you're in and you don't know it, then you're like, all right, I've kind of fucked that one up.
Okay. I try to make it attainable. Let's see if you can attain. Here we go.
Come on, dude. I'm going to go with Tommy. Is it Tommy?
Don't look at me. I'm not.
Yeah.
Is it Tommy?
We're going to need a final answer.
We're going to need a final answer.
Person and video. Bro, you got to get this one.
It is Tommy.
Come on.
It is Tommy.
You got to let him work.
Well,
for
what do you mean?
You said Tommy.
Video.
You can't ask. You got to just say.
That's a homage, right? Okay.
Yes.
It's homage.
Yeah. It's not roll call.
No.
It's homage. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
You're looking at me like I'm fucking this up.
I actually forgot, to be honest. I'm like, wait a second. Is it homage or roll call? And then I was like, it's not roll call.
I like how Harry's putting me on the spot immediately. You got this. You got this.
Well, dude, that's the easiest one ever. And I also love how you didn't use the actual song. It was just recorded from a cell phone,
exactly what I did.
standing in front of the TV.
It kind of sounded like shit.
Yeah, you kind of couldn't hear it.
Yeah, it was trash.
We're going to need the WAV file next time.
I normally do Wave. I was trying to I use this thing to rip.
From your iPhone or something.
Yeah, I filmed it with my iPhone. Okay, guys, back off.
Maybe a Android.
It might have been Droid technology. But I will say, Like normally I use this like YouTube to MP4 and I steal it and all this.
Classic.
And for whatever reason, I don't know if
Very
KTC
familiar.
has, antivirus stuff going on this thing. But for the life of me, I couldn't rip this video. And I got fed up with it and I filmed it with my phone. So I'm sorry.
Yeah, almost didn't get it because of that.
Because of the shit quality?
Yeah, it sounded so bad.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm guessing Colton must have picked that song.
What do we got? A prize pack or some shit?
Oh, yeah. You got a prize pack. Behind you,
Give
yeah,
the kid
thanks.
a prize pack.
You got
we got a prize
bomb
pack.
hole Yeti carry-all bag filled with all kinds of bomb holes.
What do we got in there, Ian?
I'm going to use this bag, that's for sure.
You're going to use this bag,
Check
as
it
they
out.
say in Minnesota.
As Randy Van Nerden would say, big.
As Danimals would say, that's a
See
great
what we got
bag.
here.
He would say, that's bomb.
We got a couple bomb
Wow,
hole
these hats
hats.
are pretty bomb.
This bag is bomb.
Oh, dude, you hooked me up with some
Yeah, you got a
salt
brick.
salts?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah, those are good. Late nights editing
What do
some
we
photos.
got? A three pack.
Yeah, you got a 3-pack.
30
Sure.
count.
Yep. You don't need to show off all the gear.
30
Thank
packs.
you.
Yeah, you know.
I appreciate
Just
that.
kind of checking it out, though.
Yep.
I
Yeah,
like
so
the,
you earned
I
that,
like the salt
Tommy.
salts.
I'm glad you got that right.
Yeah.
You earned that one, Ian.
Yeah.
I mean, you're kind of looking at me like I wasn't going to get it.
You were close.
Harry wanted to
Dude,
see
you were
you
just
fail.
kind of
I was
putting me
out
on.
for
Yeah.
Okay, part 2. This is for the listeners, not for you, Ian. If you know the song, comment on the photo of Ian on our Instagram. We need video part, rider, and video. Can't be vague. First one gets a prize pack. It's probably a dog shit sticker pack. I don't pack them up. I don't know. It's not my problem.
Who packs them up?
Danny?
Danny.
Yeah, shout out to Danny, our shipping guy.
Yeah.
He's a legend.
Shouts to the shipping department.
We were running some routes in the office. Let me tell you something. The button hook route is just elite.
The annexation of Puerto Rico.
Yeah, we were throwing audibles. We were running all kinds of routes today. Here we go. Name that video part.
Don't say it.
Oh, yeah. I know that one.
Say it. We'll beep it up.
Oh,
He almost didn't know.
he
it.
had to think.
I hesitated a minute. I was kind of on it.
All right. Thank you guys for playing. Name that video part.
You made it through.
Made it through.
Good job. All right, Ian, I'd like to get into a subject, and I'd like to preface it with a little quote of free your bind, free your mind. And we're talking about the Osmo, okay?
Asmo or Osmo?
I don't know how you're supposed to say it.
Osmosis or Asmo?
We're talking about a process of
Actually, a good
osmosis.
point.
It's pretty
Not even
complex.
sure.
What, how you pronounce it?
Asmo? Osmo?
However, choose your own adventure.
Yeah, okay.
You can say Pow Surf.
Pow
But
surfing.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. We could call Volay, get him on the horn. It's probably 2 o'clock in the morning over there, but
Yeah, it's perfect.
pick up with an angry sounding accent, but he's actually happy. So where's your love for pow surfing come from? Because you are addicted.
I am definitely addicted. I'm going to crack one for that. I'm going to go with, it's like when you first find skating or something, you're like a kid, you find this thing and you're like, well, this is totally new and different. That's kind of how it felt when I think it was with Louif, and he's like, dude, you got to ride this board. And I just immediately was like, oh, I want to do this. It just felt, I don't know, it's cheesy, but it just felt like a challenge again, where snowboarding, kind of just ripping down, riding, some turns, especially if you're filming, you got a camera pack on or whatever. Get on the Asmo and you're like, this is a whole new world of fun and a challenge. That's what it felt like, at least, early on. And then I kind of started thinking about it like, what else can you do with it? Like, can we do some other stuff? Can you try to jump? And obviously, like, Volay was such an inspiration. All the Absinthe movies, every time he was riding it, I was just tripping out watching that. Seeing him like 3-shove and all that stuff, I was so hyped. And so, yeah, it was just like, I kind of want to try riding like that. The other thing is that snowboarding kind of hurts. It hurts pretty much all the time I'm riding. And for whatever reason, riding an Asmo or a Pow Surfer, I can just put my feet exactly where I want it. And if I'm going to slam, I can kind of just jump on my back or whatnot. But it just opened up this door to me that was so exciting. It's like, all right, what else is possible here? What can we do? And riding no leash is kind of fun too.
Oof. It makes everything big again.
It does. It makes everything big.
Everything's huge. The smallest little bump, the little hill in the local park,
Yeah.
like whatever, like everything's kind of scary.
Yeah.
As opposed to like on your board, you're like, I can fucking ride down this.
Well, that's
all
the
day.
thing. You like take it into your backyard or whatever. And it's like, well, this is a fucking joke, snowboarding. But then you grab the Pow Surfer and you're like, well, a whole new kind of thing opened up right here where I could actually get hurt if I like fall off and, you know, hit a tree or whatnot. And like also you bring it, like you just bring it out. You go in between a spot you're at, like a park or something, little jump, boom, you're having fun again.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it literally, you know, like you could be going a speed on your snowboard where you're like, I'm going slow. You go that exact same speed on the Asmo, you're like, holy fuck. Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to kill myself.
You start picking
know?
up speed on that and it's dicey.
Yeah.
I
Or you
took
hit
some
some hard
slams
pack.
last year were just straight bodied.
Yeah.
Just that front foot slips off and you're cruising, dusted.
I feel like with you though, like you got to be thrown up there with some of the Asmo greats.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
he kind of changed the game. I mean, there's a long list of Asmo tricks that you've done. That's like pretty
Brown
fucked
Cinema,
up.
Peep, chassis on that.
Brown Cinema, but even before, like when you were on those trips with Lou and stuff, you were
Oh,
like
yeah.
doing the lip slides on the walls and stuff, and like, I mean, front big off a pole jam. Like, what are we doing here? Like, what is that?
Who are in the hat for the Pow Surf greats?
I mean, volley, no
That's a given.
doubt.
That's a given.
Number one, Lou.
Yep.
Louis is
Yeah.
really, really good. I don't know if you watched that new video of him at home.
Oh, it's so
And
good.
it's so sick.
Got a lot of
'cause-
time on those things.
so good.
Dude, yeah, but he's also like, he knows what he's doing. Like, he can grab and all that stuff. Yeah. Inspirations for sure.
Yeah.
It's like, I see that. I'm like, damn, all right.
There was one clip from a couple of years ago where some kid was hitting like a rhythm section or something. Do you remember that? He was like
know.
catching air on these like BMX jumps
Oh, okay.
somewhere in Europe, but it was.
Oh,
fucking
yeah, yeah.
sick. It was
Okay, I
really
forget.
sick.
Is that guy Freddie or Frederick or something? Yeah, I don't
There's a local legend, Jeremy Jensen here
Yeah,
in Utah.
dude, he's
a
a legend.
Pow surf goat.
Yeah.
He has his own company.
Dude, I mean, even, you know, Griff, Jay Stone, like, dude, they're all absolutely ripping. I mean, I would like to take it to bigger lines and stuff. Like, rode a couple fun ones last year in Baker and other places, Whistler, that just big open stuff. Like, it'd be fun to do some more like that. But yeah, the tricks are fun because it's kind of like snowboarding. You don't really feel like you're skating, and with, you know, a snow skate, and I fucking love snow skating too. I used to do that a bunch, but you don't feel like you can't like cruise at the same speed that you would skating. Like skating, you can push, you can go fast, and with the Asmo, you can kind of rip like harder pack stuff. You can do rails, you can do stuff, you can work on like, you know, pop shove it's whatever. It just kind of it opens up something else that just feels like skating.
Bodie's done some legendary Pow surf
Oh, dude,
stuff.
he has done
I
some
forgot
legendary
to
stuff.
put his name in the hat, but yeah.
Yeah, Bodie is. Yeah,
He's
Bodie's done
kickflipped
some-
one.
Slap some respect on that.
Is that? Am I making that up? I'm
No,
pretty
no,
sure has.
he kickflipped. Jared Elston kickflipped. That's great. I've still, I tried like one or two. I'm like, I'll never do that probably. But yeah, the biggie, I was like, maybe that. So I was fucking around earlier that year on a little jump and did a backside one. And I'm like, oh shit, it's kind of possible. It's all about how you build your in run though. You know, it's like on a skateboard, you can lean, turn your trucks, and you can kind of get that little back 180 going. And then on an Asmo, if you build a little bit of a turn or a berm, like you can kind of do a 180 much easier. And that was that pole jam, the front big spin, where the in run just naturally had like a right hand turn. So I was looking at it and I was building it. And I'm like, I don't know if this will work, but I think like this might line up. And never done a big spin on a skateboard or anything like that. But
You got a quiver, or you just go? You got one Osmo.
I have two now. Volle actually sent me one that he cut shorter. I wanted something short. He hooked that one up. But yeah, I have one older one that's kind of broken that I keep fixing, and then a newer one. But
One other sidebar thing for Pow surfing, fun in all conditions, but one thing where I think that's really good too is like kind of like you said earlier, but when it's really touchy, like avalanche is all time high, stay off everything steep, everything's moving. You're like, I'm gonna go over to this little bank of a hill over here that's totally safe and wiggle down and have the time of my life,
dude, for sure. You just kind of feeling like a kid again because it's the simplest form of kind of moving, you know? And you don't need to do anything crazy. You don't need to be on steeps. And also it's awesome because you just throw it to a homie. It's like, yo, you rip it. You know, it's quick. Like I like filming on it too. like where I'll have my camera because
That's
I don't
fucking crazy.
You don't
You're
need
tomahawking with a
shit.
board and a
I don't
camera
necessarily
next to each.
Yeah, I know it could go bad. I don't necessarily mean fall camming though. That's fun, but just like going like if you're on a run like in Japan where you're kind of just moving like 30 feet, but you want to be quick with it. It's like there's no strapping in. You just step out of that thing like a skateboard and you move to the next thing. And that's kind of fun too.
You know who put some time in is Matty Moe last year.
Oh,
on
yeah.
that thing.
Oh,
he
dude,
was
he
riding
was.
hardpack
Yeah,
every day.
Yeah, he was.
In that case, I'm probably gonna hit him with a.
Homie's good.
So what I wanted to get into too, I heard you're also a bit of a junk show when you're out on the snowmobile. I heard that you did a hill climb last year, and then your camera bag tumbled down the entire face.
Yeah, that did happen. Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah, pretty
fill
much.
us in on- tell us about that.
Kind of an expert
Was
over
it
here.
just strapped to the back or
Yeah.
what?
Well, this is actually this is
Clark
2
Griswold.
years ago, like not last year, but the year before, with Adidas, and I'd never snowmobiled. So this is buy a snowmobile first trip, and I kind of remember asking. I think I asked Jared. I was like, "Yo, you think I can go up that hill?" And he's like, "Yeah, dude, for sure." Like, well knowing maybe I didn't have it. Anyway, I just put a bungee around my camera bag on the back. Yeah. Started going up. I'm all hunched over. Like my position's pretty flawed. Anyway, that thing just started rolling.
See ya.
Dude, it was just camera bag to the bottom.
You and Meyer.
Dude, it was bad. I kind of tried to pick it up a little bit since then. Trying to get the technique down a little bit. You know who's helped is Jonah. Jonah kind of is like, "Yo, Ian, go do this or go do that." And
Yeah.
it's kind of nice. He's like, "There's a jump over there, go hit that."
Yeah, he's
It's gonna
nice.
work out great for me.
He's nice on the rooster.
We went out with Feldman recently because he's doing the North Face
yeah.
stuff, and he was calling them rhinos.
Rhinos?
Yeah, and one morning he's
Like,
like,
roosters or what?
no, like the snowmobile's like a rhino.
Oh.
And he'd be like, "Oh, we're fucking wrestling rhinos again today." Like, dude, unbelievable. Calling it a rhino. We're going out there
kinda like
wrestling
that.
rhinos all day.
Dude, riding the rhino.
Yeah, dude.
The North Face crew's all time, bunch of street dogs
Oh, yeah.
just fucking hopping on the roosters, giving her some corn. All right, I got a guest question from none other than Nick Baden. Here we go.
Hello, my good friend Ian, and whoever else is in the booth today. Hope you guys are having fun. Ian, my question for you today has to do with when we went to your house last spring. I think it was June, and you hosted us all to begin to edit the Brown video, Knights of the Brown Table, with Butters and everyone else involved. I guess just what was the goal of that trip and how did it go?
Great question. Thank you, Nick. Air horn to Nick. Is the fucking shit. Man, we just wanted to get out in the country a little bit. Kind of bring it back to the old school vibe where you get like a house in Costa Rica, like Hosnick style, and you edit the video there. But also the crew felt special and just hilarious on top of it. It was like, can we get everyone in one place to film some shit and edit the video, get everyone to sit down in one place? That was really it. It was like bring it back to those like times of the past where you finish strong with everyone in one place. And yeah, that was crazy. We had dirt bikes. Everyone brought a dirt bike. We were ripping through the yard. Did a
And
bunch
you live
of
on some property too, like maybe paint a little picture of that.
Yeah, just kind of in the middle of nowhere, really. And got a little bit, like, an acre and a half or so.
What's the elevation of this place?
8,300.
All right,
So we're
that'll paint the picture a little bit.
Yeah, we're kind of up there. It's nice though, like border national forest. So, one day we just did a walk straight from my house, like 2 miles down to a river. And just, kind of like we're filming and shooting photos the whole time. But just like, let's get everyone together and celebrate the end of the season. Like we had an awesome 2 years. Let's bring it together. Let's hit a couple local spots, a couple watering holes. We had to
delete a few cans, maybe?
Yeah, we might have deleted. Yeah, we deleted
all sorts of shit.
Yeah, we deleted a fuck ton of cans. We also did Mason was big on that. He did he made a nice what do you call it, like a water bong with a traffic cone and a trash can.
Gravity bong?
Yeah, gravity bong. Thank you, Harry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clarify.
That's exactly.
Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah. He was like KO'd after one of those. Yeah, it was fun. We just had everyone together. I mean, Butters sat down. Butters was actually he was on top of it. He was like 10 hours in front of the computer every day. And we're out like dirt biking in the yard, like throwing like, you know, cans at each other, whatever we're doing, and, you know, filming. And he's just on the computer like, dude, let's get this shit done. And so he'd have everyone come and sit down and like they'd go over their part, maybe pick songs, maybe pick clips. And so it was somehow productive. It was really productive.
Because that's a lot for an editor.
Dude, it's
to have everyone, like, a lot of cooks in the kitchen.
Dude, it's a lot of opinions,
which
there.
is
It's
good.
Like, and how are you gonna whittle those opinions down into videos? So Butters took the time to get everyone's timeline dialed, have everyone look at it, and that was like the goal. My goal, which I might have followed through on, I'm not sure, was to get everyone to look at the magazine and pick photos, and because we want to do this like 30-page article or whatever on it and wanted to do it a little different. So we actually did accomplish some stuff when we had everyone write down quotes, like handwritten quotes on some questions and like trying to get some of that personality. Like these guys are so personable and funny and awesome. Like how can we put some of that in these pages? And so I think we got some stuff done at the end of it, but yeah, that was the goal. Just get everyone together.
Well, dude, looking at it now, after you guys won Video of the Year, it's fucking incredible. Like that, I don't know, that's really fucking sick that you got. How long was everyone there? Like a week?
Fuck, dude, it was like 10 days.
Sam, you had everyone at your house for 10 days?
I think Butters checked out at like 7, and then we had a couple victory laps for a couple days that just kept going. Yeah. But it was just like, why leave? We had everyone together. No one really wanted to bail. I was just down to have everyone. We had just, you know, we slept on the deck every day, which is awesome. It was just like
good for the back.
Line of bodies just on the deck. Yeah.
Just a little bit of sleep on the stomach, maybe like light scoliosis in the morning.
See if we can't get some fasciitis in there too.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, it was nice.
It was a
nice.
bit of I think it was like a no ice cold beer left unturned situation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There was a hell of a lot of fat tires crushed that week. That's for sure.
Love that.
Yeah.
Butters definitely. I got the rundown from him hanging out with us after. He said the boys were having a good time, but the video turned out awesome.
We also filmed a lot within that time too.
Yeah.
You know, the camera was always out. Like
we got
intros.
a Patreon about the bottom. Hit the last one. That's a good one.
Yeah, we got a question from Wyndham. What's good with the Enduro Harley water crossing, and could we potentially see a jump?
Jesus Christ! Here we go.
Dude, there's not much to that other than I wanted everyone to be on a dirt bike, so I gave my bike up to Sammy, and I was like, well, I'll just ride the Harley. I don't know. I mean,
little hard enduro on a Harley. I love that.
Clark Griswold.
Yep.
That was a hell of a day. Yeah, I forgot about that actually. What was that kid's name?
Wyndham.
Wyndham. Thanks for that question, Wyndham. It was just that. Like I built that bike for those roads. You know, I built it with the tires and everything, so that if I wanted to, I could rip it. The water crossing. It was like, yo, let's just keep going, and cross the water for a little bit. We'll get a jump in there. I kind of jumped it a little bit. It's not too good for the forks though. Kind of had not maybe good luck with jumping stuff lately. Suburban.
We got another. We'll save that story because we got another guest question about that in a little bit. I like that. And then also you got some shots of Jared and a bunch of intro shots from
we got a ton of I mean, that's like what makes a movie, you know? It's not just that this is like a couple people that need to hang out for the winter. It's like, dude, we're all super tight homies, all really good friends, and we all want to hang out with each other. It's like, dude, the last night, it was just, just casual in the house making food and just being like, yo, I love you, dog. Like that was a sixth season. That's whack. But you know what I mean? Like that was
hell of a season.
Hell of a season, dude. Like what we did was something cool and special. Like let's celebrate it.
That's awesome. Yeah, and good camaraderie and all that stuff happens from those. It's important. And it's interesting because I don't know if we talked about it, but you're the producer with Butters on Brown Cinema. And I don't think I clarified that on the show, but it's important for the listeners to know. And it won Video of the Year. It's a full length, like an OG snowboard video, full length. And it seems like everybody's been going shorter and shorter. You guys did a full length. It was beloved by our snowboard community. And what do you think the reasons are for Brown's success?
It's a good question. Trying to boil it down to one thing, but I think the run it back for 2 years really helped. It was let's work out a couple kinks and then let's dial those in the next year. But I think like more than anything, it was by the riders for the riders. Like it wasn't a brand video. It was a
which
group,
is all we see.
right. Yeah, there's a lot of those these days, other than the kind of homie crew videos. But yeah, it was just, let's bring it back to like what maybe some of these videos used to be about, right? And the fact that everyone was already tight with each other before and that they all wanted to snowboard together. It's not to say there weren't, little differences and arguments and, stuff along the way. That always happens. But I think that it was just everyone wanted to be there for the most part. I think Butters just spearheaded that thing. He's so smart and knows what he wants, and he has he's a visionary, really, and he was able to put everything from 2 years together in a way that I think just people wanted to see and didn't know it, and that's it was something that just we weren't used to seeing. It was long. I kept saying like, dude, we got to cut it down a little bit, and he was like, no, like long, and I'm glad he did. Like, he was absolutely right in his conviction to keep it how it was. We're going to show these riders how they are, and we're not going to leave anything out. And I think it worked. I don't know. I think people liked it.
And the riders are truly friends, which is important too. It's not just like a brand video where you throw a random crew of people together.
And some brands pull it off where like people are friends, but others it has the facade of like we're friends, but it's like you can tell they're not friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like, it's the last of a dying breed, the independent snowboard film. And it's like it's cool to see people like I thoroughly enjoy seeing different people snowboard together that you don't normally get to.
Right.
So like to see all these people with different sponsors snowboarding together is fucking cool because for the last 10 years it's all we've seen.
Yeah.
So it was definitely, it's a breath of fresh
Just
air.
a wide variety of riders.
And they're all
that's the thing.
ATVs. That's
what I was gonna say.
They're all
It's like you
multidimensional.
got Stacks who just can absolutely throw down in both. His street footage was awesome. Backcountry shit's unreal. Same with Parker. Same with Nick. Like there was the variety that I think spoke to like a little bit of the past there that I personally love. And then you throw Butters picking the music, just incredible in it.
That's a big thing.
I also
too,
think it's like kind of lucky, right? I think there's a little bit of luck thrown
in
in.
what sense though? Because I would almost disagree.
All right, interesting take.
I don't know. I mean, everyone fucking worked really hard. Like, where does luck come into play?
I think luck comes in when you work hard. There's also like you put yourself in a position to be more successful, and there's a little bit of luck always in like, all right, did we get to, did you get the lights dying? Did you get the clip? And I think there's some moments there where it's just like that extra little push, that extra what these guys were putting in just ended up working out.
Yeah.
There's also something really. Go ahead.
You were right. I think more than luck, it was just like
Hard
people
work.
putting in the time.
It's not easy.
The thing that's so cool too is like, as far as the friend group goes, if you were kind of in the circle of friends, it was like, come on out. There was no weird, oh man, sorry you can't come today. We're making a brand video. Linked with you guys for a day, and it was awesome. Ika Backstrom's out there. He shows up, and everybody's cheering on Ika. It was like kind of whoever was in the peripheral at the time was like, "Come on in. Oh, you're here today. Let's get a clip of you." And so there's the blend of that of like the homies being included, which gives it some power, so to speak. It's the people you want to see, and it's also the subtleties of there's like a lot of little details that Butters put in that I noticed after the fact of like little personality things.
Oh yeah.
And even just like Fat Gabe, I slept like shit.
Oh yeah.
Like that, it's great.
That'll go down
That
in the
quote
books is like one of those memorable quotes. Like even before when I said that, like I think it was a horse or whatever. Like that Gabe quote's gonna be ripping in 15 years. Like no question.
Oh dude, that's a good one. I mean, that's the thing, like too, with having that easy camera. You just pull it out and you get that. It's like, dude, why would you film in the like you're just waking up? This Gabe's all tired.
Well, so here's my take on it. Because if you and I've experienced this a lot. What was that filmed with? Like an elf or a cell phone or something?
Yeah, I think it was Butters Handycam.
So if you point a big professional looking camera in someone's face, they freeze. But if you take this little cell phone and just like people are so fucking genuine. And that's what we've done too, is like also if it's coming from a filmer, sometimes people have their guard up a bit. Whereas like if you take a handy cam and you give it to someone else in the crew, like say for example, like Parker filming Gabe might be a little bit different towards the camera if Parker's holding it than if like I'm fucking holding it or something. You know what I mean? Like you kind of be a bit more of a dipshit and you get those like genuine moments that pull a whole fucking movie together. And that quote now might be fucking, you know, lives on for 10, 15, 20 years. Like it's, they let their guard down a bit.
I mean, you let your guard down. Also, you just like over the course of 2 years, you get comfortable, right?
100%.
You get comfortable with the people you're with, and you also just start caring less. Like, dude, this is snowboarding. It doesn't matter. Let's just have fun with this, you know? And
also, just to highlight that Gabe part too, it's like Gabe is a phenomenal snowboarder, and all of his parts before that were like just him doing difficult tricks.
Right.
But you never really got a sense of who Gabe was behind the tricks, and like that video part made it easy to latch on to Gabe. You know, and that's like that's important. We need.
Well, that's
we need
what
that.
it used to. That's I feel like what videos of the past used to do a better job. Like After Bang was just like instrumental.
They were
for
the
me,
only
and-
ones though. Because to me, powder snowboarding was always boring as fuck because there was no personality ever.
Good point.
Aside from robot food or whatever, it was just like, cool, here's some dude in a big blank white space. I can't see anything. Oh, he jumped off a wedge and did whatever. And there was never any like, this is who they are. This is, you know, and that's what you guys did. Like it put a face to the name in the backcountry parts. Like seeing those lifeies and like the clip of Ika like hitting the gravity bong in the sink, you know, and like stuff like that where it's like, okay, they don't just seem like powder robots. They're like real ass people.
No, they're real people, you know.
I don't know.
And
That
it's,
to me
it's like
helped a lot.
they want to go out and check, but also sometimes you don't. Sometimes it's like fuck.
Yeah, it
this,
fucking
dude.
sucks out.
This
Let's
actually
chill.
sucks.
Yeah,
Like, let's get the fuck off this mountain. You know, and I'm like, dude, I don't know. I did this false front of like, yeah, we always want to go get it. It's like, actually, no. There's a bunch of times where you're actually over it and you just want to call it. And I think like that's totally fine. And it's like letting the riders dictate that a little bit. They're going to be like way more hyped the next day to go out because, you know, it's dude, they're calling the shots.
Smarter, not harder.
Yeah, exactly.
Great point. Great point. Shout out to Butters for making an incredible video.
Butt hairs.
AKA Butt Hairs. Now, we got another guest question, and this one is from Jared Elston, AKA Big Air Jer. Here we go.
Boll, Chris, what's up, guys? I just wanted to ask Ian about his Suburban that we focused last fall and just his general love for trailers and trailering and driving. Thanks, guys. Start to hear this one.
Jared, thank you for that. Well, I'll start off with I fucking hate trailering, but it's kind of necessary if you don't have a truck and you got to bring a snowmobile somewhere.
If you're married to the Suburban, you need one.
He fucking hates trailers.
Yeah, I mean, you can still kind of drift with them a little bit, which is kind of fun if you know how to do it. But overall, I don't love the trailer a ton. It's kind of funny though. Focusing the Suburban, I believe that was part one of your question. Jared, Gabe, and I think it was when we were out in Colorado for the Brown premiere. We were just chilling, and I decided, like, why don't we take the old Suburban out for a little drive, a little cruise, maybe 9 p.m. or so. And this thing's kind of focused. It's like the transmission's gone, but it still drives. The whole front end needed work. It needed like 10 grand worth of work.
Is the one with the top?
Yeah, the one with the topper, or the pop top or whatever. And so anyway, we're kind of cruising, and the vibe starts getting ramped up a little bit. We start hitting these little washes, you know, like on a dirt road with washes. We kind of just start going more, and we're just getting more speed. And then I think we're catching a little bit of air on the first couple, and then we see one, and we're like, oh yeah, I was like, that's the one. So we kind of floored into it, and yeah, absolutely just focus this Suburban, like fly. I think we all hit our heads off the ceiling. Gabe like cuts his like ass on the seat after he lands. And we end up hitting the rear end so hard that it just buckled us into a 45, and we just come down on the nose and just whole thing. The wheels canted at 45 degrees, ball joint, tie rod, everything's gone.
Evil Knievel.
Yeah, we went. We had to go back and measure. We're like, dude, I wonder how far we went. Went back the next day. It was like 20 feet from takeoff to landing. So anyway, yeah, that thing's probably done for good, unfortunately.
R.I.P.
We will overlay the footage of this because I think Jared has the clip of the wheel bent in 45. So.
Yeah, we got that thing. We made it home though.
Yep.
So,
but you drove that thing like a fucking go-kart forever.
Yeah, 18 years drove that thing like absolute
like
go-kart. I would rally pretty hard on that thing. It's not the first time it's been in the air, that's for sure. It's
done well.
Yeah, I mean, dude, for what I put it through, it's made it 250,000 miles. Brought me everywhere across the country. Love that thing.
Butters, when I was doing my research, I talked to him. I thought he had a really interesting point. And basically, he was talking about how you will be driving back from somewhere, snowmobiling or whatever, and everybody's like, oh, we're going to take this road. And you're like, I found this other road. I'm going to take the long way home, even though it's a 2-hour detour because I've never been on this road. I would love to hear you elaborate on why you do stuff like that.
I don't know. Sometimes the trip's been so good and you don't really want it to end. You know what happens when you get there and it's like back into the rush. And so there's certain times where I'm just cruising. I'm kind of just in thought or whatever it is, I'm just liking where I'm at. I'm liking traveling. And so, yeah, I'll be like, fuck it, I'll take an extra day and I'm going to take this back road. It kind of goes back to I like driving around Boston looking for stuff. Like I love driving new roads. It's like my favorite thing. So if I see a nice 2-lane highway, a scenic byway or something, I'm like, I'll just take this one. I'll camp and I'll see you guys in the next day because I know we're not doing something. But yeah, it's a bit of like holding on a little bit, taking some time to decompress, to think. And also, like, I'm already so far from home. It's going to take a long time to come back and redo this, so I might as well just do it now. And yeah, I don't know. It's hard to explain that one. I don't know. I just like taking the detours. I like going slow sometimes.
You know what they say? It's not about the destination.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Dude, I was trying so hard not to sound like
Come
that.
on, let it roll.
I was trying real hard not to, but that, it's
fucking
unfortunately,
corny,
it is
true.
there's some
It is
bullshit that is true about that. But yeah, it's always better. Like the times that I look back and I like the most are some of those in between moments. It's not necessarily the trip. It's like breaking down on the way, or it's like going to find, like, I don't know, it's always an opportunity to shoot photos too, or film or whatever. And it's like, what thing are you going to find?
It's
what's
the
going to
excitement
happen?
of the unknown.
Yeah. It's like, I'm pulling to a small town. I'm going to go to a bar, like, get a burger by myself and like, what's going to happen? I don't know. It's interesting. It's fun. It just adds to those little, like, those memories thinking back on that,
Well, Butters mentioned as we were talking about that too, he's like, basically Ian's one of the most present people I've ever met. And I think there's a degree of just being present of where you are on those type of detours, I'd imagine, right?
Yeah, it's all present. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're in your head a little bit, I'm sure, if you're thinking or whatnot, but yeah, there's a lot of ruckus going on a day of filming, and it's hard to get some alone time. And you're definitely present the whole time, right? You're there, but there's another level of it when you're by yourself, and you're just kind of like, you're literally, it's the most simple thing. You're just like getting from A to B, but you're taking it all in as you go, and you're not rushing it, and you're not trying to get to B necessarily. You're just going, you happen to be going that way. So you can think, I don't know. Try to be present, I guess.
Well, there's, in this modern day society too, with our phones and with TV and with videos and distractions, wherever you're going, it is truly challenging to get a little bit of time to think by yourself. And sometimes driving might be the only way to get it.
Dude, for sure. Yeah. 100%. It's like, it's impossible to check out these days. You got emails blasting at you at all times. There's always someone wanting something. It's like, man, you get to Nevada, there's definitely no service. I'm going to spend an extra day there for sure. And you need that. I think it's important. You have to have it. That and airplanes without Wi-Fi, that's always nice too.
Like that. I remember one time Bodie was telling me, he was like, He's like, hey, yeah, we're going here, but you can't drive with me because I want to drive by myself so I can think. I'm like, oh yeah, all good. But I just think he was very conscious about that.
That's
you know,
hilarious.
like you can't come
Yeah.
with me because I need to have my time.
Yeah.
But you can follow me. But I just love that.
No, my time. My time. I say that a little bit sometimes. Like, no, I'm my time. You guys do your thing. I'm gonna do mine.
All right, Bull Pack. Let's talk hot takes. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Very ready.
Let it fly.
Yeah.
Should I hit a little homies cooked right before we get into it?
Yeah,
I think we might need one of those.
Homies cooked.
All right, let's do it. Should we do the unedited
can we get the
long
long
format
form?
homies cooked? Do I still have it on here? I don't think I do. I think I erased the
You got a
long.
lot of banks on.
Oh no, I got it. I got it.
Yeah, here we go.
Hey, yo, homies cooked. Hey, yo, what the fuck, homies cooked? Hey, yo, homies cooked. Are you good? Hey, yo, two about homies cooked. Are you good? Homies cooked.
Kind of makes me feel a little awkward listening to
He's
that.
kind of crazy.
He knows how to send over a drop. I'll tell you that much. That's a clinic on how to send a soundbite over. All right, let's do hot takes here. First question we always ask is kind of who's your GOAT? Who's your MJ? Who's your favorite snowboarder of all time, both male and female?
I'm gonna have to go with David Benedict on that one. I was like a lot of robot food in Spo. He was always like, I always thought he was sick. He was always hitting some street stuff and also jumping, which I liked. And like thinking about it outside the box, like how can we build a better jump, right? What else can we do on this thing with that gap session? I like that. Yeah, so Benedict, you just had a chat with him too, huh?
Yep.
Just had a chat with him. I'm kind of hyped to hear that. And then Jess Kimura, 100%.
Sick.
Dude, she always inspired me in a way because you can tell when someone pushes themselves, right? And that's something that always kind of spoke to me is like it's people who are thinking outside of the realm of like what they think is possible. They're going to push themselves to try it. She was always doing that. And awesome video parts, a couple riders of the year, I think. And also everything she did or does with the uninvited. Like I think that's super important, bringing up the next generation. What can you do to help them? Because it's like a lot of us maybe didn't have that or didn't have help with that. And I was always just super hyped, even just meeting like someone who I looked up to at that age. So yeah, I'm gonna go with those two.
Amazing selection. Next question: would you consider snowboarding an art form or a sport?
I don't love this question. I'll be honest.
Yep. I don't really love it either.
You know,
but it opens up a fun conversation.
Well,
I got
the way I see it is like, why even ask this, right? If you ask this question, it's going to put the answers into one of two categories, but that's kind of defining snowboarding. Why do you want to define it? I think the better, the definition is much more the act of it. And that's what snowboarding is. I think when you box it in and we're so used to categorizing, like, all right, what is this? How does it fit here or there? It's like, you don't need to do that with snowboarding. You don't need to do that with art or other sports or skateboarding. So I'm going to just go with, I don't like that question.
Okay, a little bit of a Louis Vito kind of dodge, but no, those are really good points. So undefined.
I'm going to go undefined.
I think it's both.
Oh, okay. Twigs?
I mean, fuck.
Maybe
right?
both or nothing.
Depends on the snowboarder.
Yeah, it's both or neither.
Both are undefined.
Yeah.
Great, very, very eloquently put. I like it. Next question is, in your opinion, who's one of the most underrated riders you've seen?
Good luck.
Dude, honestly, young Jock. Johnny
Wow. Put some respect on it.
Like he could still be doing it today. He's that good.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to go with Jock. Also, shout out Johnny. Miss you.
Legend.
Great
answer. Steel or powder?
Fuck, man. Again, with these one or two.
Answer it as your current age and then
Dude,
22.
All right, I'm currently powder.
Yeah.
100%.
It's unfortunate. A lot of people get this one wrong. It's just.
Oh, really?
There's a correct
you're still
answer to
going,
this one.
You're still going steel at what, 36?
Yes. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta go powder these days. 22, steel all the way.
Okay. Who has your favorite style ever?
That's a Good one. Honestly, Keegan Valeka.
Ooh, I like
Because like you watch him ride the backcountry. Exactly what I want to see.
back seven.
Dude, that back seven's unreal.
Can we also talk real quickly on the cut in the back seven? Might be the biggest injustice to any clip ever in
midway through cut?
snowboarding. We've never seen that back seven from start to finish ever in the history.
Maybe we need
So
to
I
get
don't know
that.
who filmed it. I don't know who still got the hard drives. Put it out.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, yeah, no.
PSA. Great
No, okay.
PSA.
Yeah, we should get that one live, full.
Keeps me up at night.
Yeah, full going on that one.
Let's get this so Harry can get some rest. We
Yeah,
need to get
yeah.
this so he can
Yeah.
get some rest. Who's got your favorite method?
Gabe Ferguson, 100%.
Nice.
I mean, that clip Jake Price filmed, one of the best methods, I think. Two, that to me is like cinematic perfection on that. Those two combined is nice.
It's a great combination platter, Ian. Next question. Favorite video ever made?
Afterbang. Watch that hundreds of times.
Love it.
Doesn't get better than that.
There you go.
That's actually the correct answer. What's your favorite video part singular?
Video part singular. Dude, David Benedict Afterbang.
Video killed the radio star?
Dude, unreal.
Great part.
Yeah, awesome part.
Okay, favorite board graphic ever made?
Dude, I got to give it up to Sammy Rouse. Checkerboard, Sims, ATV. That's one I'm riding. Also, Sandwich made a Suburban graphic.
Oh, wow.
Have you seen this?
I haven't seen it, no.
Yeah, it's a 2003 Chevy Suburban on the base.
Did you cop one?
Oh, yeah, I had to.
You did?
That's a wall
Yeah, I'll be
hanger.
riding that.
Oh,
I'll be
you're
riding
gonna
that, well,
a couple years.
Yeah, I'll be riding that a little bit this year.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say maybe the signal that you front boarded that kink on.
Oh, yeah, the rocker.
The rocker.
Looks like a freaking banana.
Okay. What was your first snowboard video you ever owned?
I think it was, honestly, I think it was 411 Volume 1.
Ooh, started at the fucking...
Yeah.
Chad Otterstrom trick
01.
tip?
I
Back
think
three?
so, yeah.
Was that the one with Marco in the plane giving the rundown?
He might have given the...
There was a
think
Day
I
in the
got a-
Life with Jeremy Jones.
Yeah, there was that, yeah.
They brought the trailer up to Brighton.
Dude, those early 411s were awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big fan of those.
Always remember when Jeremy got a box of snowboards and that.
Oh, yeah. They were skating the box in the
Then,
driveway
like,
and
he's
shit.
like, usually going to be a good day when I get a box.
Yeah.
And you're like,
You're like, I
gets
wish I could
boxes
get a
of
box.
snowboards and they come in the fucking mail? This is unbelievable.
I want to say that was the one where Marco was like last seat in the plane by the bathroom and he's like got a couple drinks and then they're just like he's giving the rundown and shit of like, in this issue we got.
Yeah, I think
you
you're
know,
right.
dude.
It's
So
also got
good.
Guillaume Morissette the year he won U.S. Open to Big L. I remember
Yes.
there's a U.S.
Yes.
Open pipe section in Big L.
Yeah.
Anyway, we could.
Shouts to Big Al.
Yeah, great track. Okay, what else we got on here? Pants over or under the high back?
I mean, is that even a question?
It is a question. I just asked you. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go under, but also we go back a little bit. We go to like 2006. You're probably running over.
Running over.
Yeah.
Also, free your bind, free your mind. You have no high back, so
Yeah, there's no high back.
there's
Doesn't
nothing but
matter.
the pants over.
No.
It always looks like they're over.
Kind of over.
So if you go heliboarding 3 people, good times, wiggling pow. You can bring your pow surf. Who are you throwing in that chopper with you?
Fuck.
You can also bring celebrities. I just want to say, Young Dolly brought Mike Tyson. Just gonna throw that out there.
This is a great pick.
Yeah.
I'd bring Mike Tyson too. Fuck it.
Yeah, why not? I mean, honestly, throw it back. I bring Alex, Cam, both my brothers. And I got a third.
What about Pops?
Dude, fuck, I'll bring Pops. Bring the whole fam. Bring it back to early days. Why not?
It's a family affair. I like that.
Love that.
Okay, if you had one sponsor, dream sponsor, it could be anything in the world. Doesn't have to be snowboard related. What's your dream sponsor?
Man, there's a lot. I gotta pick just one, huh?
You could manifest it. Yeah, Chevy.
I mean,
that's good.
Chevy's an easy first guess. I would definitely drive a Chevy, a new one. I mean, if they gave it to me, but honestly, maybe Hasselblad. 'Cause they got some nice stuff coming out.
Okay.
Or Schneider Optics. That could be get some new glass. Yeah, go with Hasselblad.
Yeah, that's a good option. It's fitting for your profession as well. Okay, last question rather. I got another one. First try handrail warm up trick. What are you warming up on the handrail with?
Front 50, just so I can figure out how to do a front board, probably.
Yep, that's what I was wondering if it's front board or not. Okay, last question. Worst trend. What do you got?
Let it fly.
There's a lot of them. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with biting someone else's style, like, and that maybe go broad with that, like not being yourself, not like just trying to be someone you're not. I think we're all kind of a little bit scared to open up and be who you really are, but I really think people just want to see who you are as a person. I think they're gonna like welcome their arms and love you if you do that. I think you can go through a lot of this snowboard scene stuff trying to be someone, not fully what's in here. So like I would just go with be yourself.
That's great. Do we want to? I think this could be a fun wormhole to just kind of stay in for a sec.
Yeah. No, I mean, I just think about it because like
I got a couple things I could say.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You mean other trends?
No.
I think that exact.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Just for myself, like it took me a while to figure that out for sure. It's like early on, there's always, you always think like maybe you're not doing enough or like people aren't going to like who you are. And so you don't know how to act. You don't know how to open up. But really the best shit is when you do, because then you feel you're free of that. You can just kind of like let it fly, let it ride with, kind of like who you really are in there. And I think that's like, dude, that's when life gets good. It's like maybe hard at first, but it's way more fun that way. Mm-hmm. And that goes for anything, like, anyone. Like, dude, just open up and do it.
Yeah, I love that. I like to refer to that as when people find themselves on their snowboard, like they find who they are on their snowboard. You could even, easy example could be like Austin Sweeten. He rode for Forum. He just wore the Forum stuff, and he kind of wasn't that appealing, good park. And then he starts riding powder and bouncing around on pillows, and he's just like rides the mountain how his personality is. And Rav, and there's all these people that have found themselves on their snowboards, and that's the rarest thing is when you see somebody and they're like, no, this is who I am, this is what I'm gonna do. I don't give a shit what anybody else thinks. And then the common theme is everybody just imitating each other. And I've heard this quote like, concern over criticism clogs creativity. And it sucks because as snowboarders, we're such fucking haters. We can rip shit to shreds, right? Yeah. So you're scared to step outside the box for fear of people hating on you. But then when you see people that really settle into their own skin and are comfortable who they are, that's when you start seeing the magic.
It's interesting though, because I feel like every bit of creativity is some form of inspiration from someone else.
Good point.
And I think that that's a given.
A given.
So like you have to pick. You don't even pick. I think it's just like part of your whatever ecosystem or whatever. You're kind of just letting it all come in. But like even then, if you're more open with what you're accepting of or something that you might not like, but maybe that adds something to you later. And with art, it's the same thing. Like everything's a bite, but it's just how you put your spin on it and how you put it to make it something different a little bit. Because like it's different just because you do it. Mm-hmm. Even if it's similar.
Good point. There could be 20 people that do the same front board on a rail. They're all going to look different.
Exactly.
And putting your spin on it too.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's funny because everything's a bite for sure. Yeah.
I mean, even with me playing drums, like I'll hear myself play something, have no idea where it came from, and then I'll circle back to music I was listening to in high school, and I'll hear it.
Yeah.
And be like, oh shit, I stole it from that.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay. Like,
well, I think you could even broaden it out on like a broad scale. We are so influenced by our environment more than we even know. Like it's like the most obvious example is like we didn't choose to speak English. We were born in a place that speaks English. So we speak English and our environment influences us, and that can trickle down all the way to the tricks we do on our snowboard. But I would put it more in terms of I'm doing what I want to do, not what I should do. Mm-hmm. That's when it is. When you're like, I really fucking am drawn to that. I want to do that. I'm going to do that, even though I should do this.
It's easy to make that mistake. I still do it all the time. It's a lifelong. It's like, this shit. It doesn't end, or you don't just figure it out. It's a continuation. I think
for sure,
forever. Like, how can I keep staying true to myself? How can I still like keep doing what I want to do? And that's hard sometimes. It's like really hard to do that and to stay the course of kind of where you want to go. But it doesn't end. You don't just figure it out. I don't know, you don't figure out anything.
That's true.
It just
We're all
just keep
lost.
trying.
Yeah.
No, dude. Anytime you think someone has it figured out, it's not true. You know, they're sitting there struggling with what they got struggling in. That's part of it. That's like every day. You know, you get to try again, get to try to do it a little bit better, whatever.
Yeah, that's what Benedict brought up a good point too, though. That's why we, you know, if you found out everybody's winging it, it's kind of a dark society. That's why we latch on to like people for, I don't know, like Elon Musk or something like that, because you're like, oh no, this guy's got it figured out. He's figured it out, so that I can aspire to that.
Yeah.
I thought that was a
when
good
in
point.
reality he probably hasn't.
No,
Fake
You know?
it till you make it.
Dude, that's it. Yeah,
Fuck it.
yeah, exactly.
Okay, let's get into setups. What board are you riding?
I'm riding the Sims ATV right now. It's the one Sammy Rouse designed. It's got a semi truck on the base. I'm really liking that. Shout out Sammy. Give him an air horn. Also, you need graphics. Hit that guy up. Union bindings, Vans boots, the Verse.
Respect.
Yeah, Osmo Pow Surf. Shout out Woola, and that's it.
Money. What's next for Ian Boll, aka Boll Pack?
Get out of here, probably go meet up with some of the boys in McCall. I know Gabe, Parker, Curtis, Mason, they're there. We're filming another movie this year. Current name Screwdriver, working title.
Should stick with it. It's a good name.
Okay, see how it goes.
Silky, what do you think of the name?
That's a good name.
Harry, what do you think of the name?
likes it.
I'm in.
Harry's in. All right. Anyway, we'll take that all into consideration.
It's a strong name.
Strong name, yeah. Couple meanings there. Yeah, doing this project. Hopefully trying to get it funded. Hopefully we can do some stuff, getting a heli here in a little bit. But yeah, meet up with them, get back on the sleds. More filming. I'll be filming this year, which I'm hyped on.
You shooting 16?
16, yeah, and Panasonic. Yeah, that's it.
Who's got the healthiest stack? Be honest.
Right now.
Yeah, right now? Who's got the healthiest stack? This will change, but just currently.
Yeah, this is
today.
This is definitely going to change.
This is going to come out a lot longer. It's not.
I don't think anyone feels healthy about their stack right now.
But you got to name one. You can't dodge this. You need to. Who's got?
Come on, Louis.
Sam, yeah, all right. Sam's probably good. Stacks has always got clips.
Yep.
Yeah. Parker's holding. Nick's holding. Mason just lands whatever, so he's probably sitting on a handful right now.
Mm-hmm. Sam also gradated his sled into a tree, right?
Yeah, Sam did total his sled. Yeah, he went out on just a sledding only day, kind of, with a bunch of pro sledders that we were with Aaron Leyland. He was out with a bunch of pro sledders. They all went just sledding, and it didn't go so good.
That's how you get better. You got to respect it.
Yeah.
Love to hear Sammy's got some good footage. Now, before we wrap this thing up, we always like to ask about if you want to throw any thank yous before we take us out.
Yeah, a lot of people. Definitely just my family, my brothers, my mom, my dad. They've always been kind of supportive and down to let me try to go this route, which has led me here. So, yeah, my friends. 100%. My inspiration, my motivation, people I call on when shit's hard. Like, that's invaluable to me. You guys know who you are. Thank you. Yeah, anyone in snowboarding is still just kind of here for snowboarding, here to support snowboarding, here to try to make it better, because I think it is getting better. And I'm just happy to be here, honestly. So, yeah, thank you to those people.
Love it, Ian. Well, it's been a great podcast. Holy smokes. Dwags, thanks for getting on the mic.
Anytime, bro.
Spitting hot fire. Ian, thank you for your contribution to snowboarding. No, seriously, Torment's a big deal, and it's fucking awesome, and it's a great thing for snowboarding, and your work doesn't go unnoticed.
And
so.
I mean, John too, like,
yep.
This is not just me. This is, as I said, a collective effort of a lot of people who care about this a lot, immensely. So
love it. Love it. Keep it up. Keep doing it. Silk D, keep doing you.
On it.
Yeah,
Appreciate that.
Yeah, Silk, keep it up.
Also, Silk's doing tattoos these days. Just to let you guys know. He's a bit of a jack of all trades.
Damn.
I know.
And I got to say thank you to all of our sponsors that support us and keep us going. Everybody that supports us on Patreon. Thank you guys so much. And most importantly, everybody that just listens and tunes in. We couldn't do this show without you guys. So thanks again so much. We got another podcast coming at you guys next Wednesday. Over and out from the bomb hole.
Great show. Great show.